Before we start this podcast, not to state the obvious, but it's been a year, right? I mean, obviously the holiday season's gonna look a little bit different, but we can still celebrate the good parts of the holidays with only the best vodka, and that is Grey Goose. All right, but let's keep it a bean though. There's a whole lot of holiday struggle that I'm kind of happy I don't have to deal with. Like long lines at the airport, carry-on luggage not fitting. Staying in traffic for hours upon hours. Those last minute shopping struggles for Friendsgivings and people that you only kind of like. We're inspired to do a complete reimagination of what the holidays is all about. That means staying in, being safe, and spending time safely with the people you love and care about the most. And we love doing that with only the best vodka, and that's Grey Goose. Here comes the legal stuff. Sip responsibly, imported by Grey Goose Importing Company, Coral Gables, Florida. Vodka is 40% alcohol, distilled from French wheat. Now enjoy the show. What's poppin', people? Welcome back to Say Less with Kaz and Lowkey and Rosy and Jake and Eddin and everybody part of this great big family. My name is Kaz.
Yo, it's Lowkey right here from Apple Music Hits, host of Hip Hop R&B Throwback. Check out the previous episodes on demand whenever you feel like, straight from Harlem, New York City, and I'm a Howard University graduate.
Did you say straight out of Harlem, New York City?
Well, that's where I'm at right now, so that's why I said that.
Oh, you sounded very like, I was straight from Harlem. Like, I thought you got
Nah.
You know, you got to say, we were just off air talking about, like, you know how Californians put the extra ear in the ears?
Ear, we're here.
Ears. You can't just say, oh, I'm in Harlem, New York City.
Nah, well, I'm not,
Let them know you here.
Where's the A and the W?
But I'm not a Harlem nigga. I'm a Jersey
You gotta say
nigga.
Harlem.
You need the A and W when you say Harlem. It's not Harlem. It's Harlem.
No, it's Harlem.
Harlem. You gotta drag the A and the W.
I don't want to be one of those niggas
Harlem,
that claim Harlem, but they not from Harlem. But
you're saying it right. You're saying it right now.
I would be more disrespected if he said a Harlem.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Out of respect to the niggas from Harlem. I'm in Harlem, New York City.
Harlem.
All right, Lo. Harlem, New York City. What's up, Rosie? Looking like B-Rabbit. I think it's set up today, though. I see the background. You stepping it up every episode. Okay.
No, I'm gonna tell you why I'm here. Why I'm here. Why I'm in here. Because I got this puzzle from a surprise. I don't know who it's from. I just got it on my birthday, and it's a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Okay.
They couldn't get me a 250-piece puzzle. They couldn't get me a 500-piece puzzle. They got me a 1,000-piece puzzle. And I've been here since last night.
Oh, those dumps?
But it's dope. It's just breads.
Oh, that's dope.
But
how you complaining about a gift that you
because they're
didn't ask
so
for?
little.
A gift that you didn't ask for.
You see this?
It's the thought that counts, though. It's the thought that counts. I see the setup. Like everybody's getting a peek into how you live, and there's not even enough sneaker boxes to cover the screen. So where are you gonna put this 1,000-piece?
I want to frame it. That's why. The reason I feel like somebody sent to me is because they knew I would be like, challenge accepted. Oh, you're trying to play with me? 1,000 pieces? Got you. It's gonna take me a while, but I got a little edge, a border built. So.
A little edge. All right, I see it. We got Jake back in the building. What's up, Jake? Live from the mothership. What you doing, bro?
Yeah, living good. Just bunkered down in the snow. It's getting cold.
What's Jake's accent gonna be for the day?
What Jake's accent gonna be? Jake reminds me like
he should do Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's definitely like old Brooklyn though. Like old
like Goodfellas or something.
Yeah.
I feel like all my Brooklyn accents would just turn into Jewish accents.
Which is not wrong either. Which is definitely not wrong either.
Isn't it Hanukkah too? Isn't it Hanukkah?
It's Chanukah. Is that what Smokey Robinson said? It's a happy Chanukah.
We knew what he meant.
I know. I ain't gonna listen. Smokey Robinson he's been through a lot in his years, all right? And I'm not gonna make fun of any of our legends in their golden years, okay? 2020's been wild crazy. And the last thing I want to do is laugh because the man can't pronounce Kadanaka or whatever the hell he was Shenichukwa or whatever. But Jake, how was your Shenanigans, man? As the resident Jew on the show, we gotta know how it was.
You're an asshole, guys.
Niggas always get on me when I talk about. I'm like, yeah, Jake is the Jew and this, that, and the third, and now Duncan Cass is just letting this shit ring off.
He's the resident Jew, is he not?
If we're residents, right?
Can he be a token Jew?
No. See, that's when it gets see. Nobody would like it if they called you the token Dominican. Now, wouldn't you?
I am. I wouldn't care.
The token Dominican, exactly, token black. Like the token Dominican is saying, okay, we need a Dominican. We need a Jewish person. So here's the first Jewish or Dominican person we could find. Right? A resident Jew is, hey, we're all living in this wild, crazy society together. Right. And we just happen to have a Jew in our residence. Let's ask him about his life.
All right.
Well, to be totally forthright, I'm like the Allen Iverson of Jews. I don't really practice.
Oh, boo.
You're the Allen Iverson of Jews.
You don't like
Jake,
that?
That's awful. That's awful. You're supposed to put us on game, man. This is supposed to be a diverse podcast that speaks on many walks of life, that speaks on many topics, even Shenanigans. And just when it was your time to shine, it was your time to shine, and you're in practice it, I'm let down, Jake.
The Allen Iverson of Jews, bro. Don't disrespect Allen Iverson like that.
Right. I was like, I thought he was going the good route, and then he was
come on, man. Don't,
I'll tell you this though. Jews love them some Allen Iverson. Jews love Allen Iverson because he's Philly.
Everybody loves Allen Iverson.
He's Philly, you know what I mean? And it's there's a lot of You know
I regret not taking him in the racial draft because I think we could have done a lot.
All right, you did enough in the racial draft. Don't regret anything.
Yeah, Jake, you don't need any more. All right, you already.
If anyone has regrets, it's us.
This out, especially low.
Especially low.
Listen, I'll die on that hill. I don't care, man. I'll die on that hill. I will die on that hill. Man, still bringing that shit up on Twitter. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I said what I said.
To this day.
I said what I said. To this day.
Do you see? First off, we're recording now, so we're good. And we recorded the last thing. It's just that once my laptop went off, whatever. So we could fix that in Zoom and post or whatever. We'll be all right.
Yeah, just fix it in post.
Yeah, that in your post.
Nigga shit is fugazi over there, man. What's going on with that?
First off, talking about shit is
man?
fugazi. I got this like couple $1,000 computer here, this iPad here, this MacBook I'm looking at, now the Zoom recorder, hot mic, another microphone, earpiece, lights.
And it still took you 30 minutes.
And it still took you 30 minutes to get your shit set up. So yes, that's
to Lowe's point.
It's a daily occurrence. I'm sorry.
Right. So
no, you have a whole studio. It's like a switch.
Flip on the laptop and just flip on the cell phone and get it rolling.
Oh my God.
You do this every morning, right? You do this every morning. So you should have a routine down pat.
All right, Lo, what was yesterday?
All this troubleshooting shit that's going on.
What was yesterday, Lo?
Saturday?
It was Saturday, right? And MSJM comes on every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m.
Oh, meaning he didn't use it.
7 Central. So I didn't use the equipment
I didn't use my huge studio setup. Oh my God.
Out of the
I
2 months you've been doing
my setup.
You forgot out of one day. Out of the 2 months you've been doing the show, you forgot one day how to do shit.
I didn't forget, okay? And mind you, the audio has nothing to do with the video, right? The video is strictly for you niggas, so you can see me. Like, the audio is making sure that the good people that subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, Amazon, and all of our streaming partners can hear us nice and crispy and clearly.
Hey, Kaz.
So, sorry if this setup isn't as pristine and nice for you nignogs, all right?
Kaz, please tell us more about how you couldn't use your huge studio. Your big popping studio with all these fancy equipment.
Maybe sometimes
please tell us
all
more.
you need is a MacBook and a yellow TC
Works perfectly
mic.
fine.
Well, Eddin, you're on the line. Does that work perfectly fine? Have you been having some non-issues with this
It didn't take
at all?
us 30 minutes.
God, you guys. I just want to say something real quick.
The voice of Jesus has spoken.
I just want to say, Kaz got all that set up for no fucking reason.
No, with you guys. That's right.
Yes! Yes!
That's right.
Kaz thought he had somebody on his side.
We hate Kaz. We hate Kaz.
All that setup. You would think it would be clockwork. You would think it would be the easiest setup. He comes to his office, presses play, record, boom.
One would think that this is the easy
stuttering
squeezy.
on Zoom.
Fuck your setup. Fuck your setup.
We're doing chants now. This is where we're at. All right. Anyway,
one time for MSG. One time for
MSG Network. Catch me every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. with my co-host Monica McNutt, and you can catch the replay every hour
her last name.
up until noon. It's a great show. Monica McNutt. Why don't you like the last name?
No, I
think
really
it's a
like
great
it.
last name.
I love
She
it.
said she does. No, she said she does.
I do.
Oh yeah, no, it's fire. Monica's the homie too. We got to get
It's
her on the
mad
show
catchy.
one day, man. She's great. She's fantastic. Man, I'm sipping on some Grey Goose right now. Shout out to our partners at Grey Goose and sponsoring the pod. And hope you like the ad in the beginning of the show. And this one was for free because I actually enjoyed this vodka. I've been drinking it for a long time, so you know how that goes. But man, we're still kind of digging ourselves out of the city and New Jersey right now, on top of being quarantined and separated for all of us. As you can tell, the coronavirus and COVID-19 pandemic is still ravaging through the city and ravaging through the country. So we are still here in our respective homes. Rosy in front of some shoeboxes, Jake in front of his, the ladder, the glory years with his Polk High jersey in the back. Low and Harlem.
Boom boom room. Yeah, raise boom boom room.
with the freaky lights in the back, with the thought lights. I respect it. And we here in the studio, man. So thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a crazy year. Christmas is this week. And
oh shit.
Right? Same shit I said. I was like, yo, Christmas.
I ain't getting no gifts
is
yet.
This week.
I don't think it's not, just because of what's going on. I think everyone's just trying to get through the year. Right? Mm-hmm. No one has been waiting for Christmas. No one was waiting for Thanksgiving. No one's waiting for New Year's, because all the natural shit that we've been doing is now just cut in half. Right? Yeah. So if you're not traveling, you're probably just gonna be in the crib, with your friends or whoever the case is. You can't go see your parents, you can't go see your relatives, whatever. So now niggas just trying to just get through this. Let's just get to the point of what we need to get to, which is New Year's 2021.
And even then,
and get to that.
We did the same exact thing last year. We were like, man, 2019 was crazy, man. We just got to get through this year and let's just throw that out. And then 2020 came in and said, you thought. But see,
2019, 2019 was a little, troubling for many different reasons. But as a whole, overall, for everybody, not even just because of COVID, but because of loss of work, loss of life, and then the holiday spirit. So now it's really starting to ramp in. Nigga, let's get this done. But what if, right? We get, I know there's been talks about this, but what if we get through 2020, cool, boom, and 2021 is worse? At least we know how to deal with it. What if it comes in I see what you did 2020, challenge accepted.
It's great, nice, way to be my opening act 2020, because 2021. Exactly.
But the thing is, now we know how to deal with this shit. Now we at least have some experience on how to deal. Yeah, nigga.
I was talking about this earlier this week. I'm like, yo, it's really crazy. I was watching Law and Order randomly, just watching Law and Order, new episode, and every episode they've weaved in how the pandemic is just part of life now. Hey, mask up before you leave the office, and these guys were partying and in the middle of a pandemic, and I got so mad and I killed somebody because they didn't, you know what I mean? Just all this wild stuff. And I'm like, yo, it's really crazy how we all just sort of just made this our new normal. We're all just sort of used to it, and it's well, if you're scared of Corona, cool. If not, Like you can go to Atlanta and just like live a regular ass life, and no one's gonna bother you. And
I think people have I think now it's like choose your side. Mm-hmm. That's how the year has progressed. Choose your side. Acknowledge the fact that we're in a pandemic. Acknowledge the fact that you got to be safe, or act as if this is a hoax. Act as if this is politically driven. Act as if whatever it's gonna die out. Whatever the case is, choose your side. As long as we know what side you on, I can understand who to be around and who to have conversations with, or whatever the case is. If you let me know that you don't fuck with this shit, you don't believe in it, stay over there. If you moving around safe, if you having a mask on and you doing things safely,
but that's the thing though.
Cool.
The thing that bothers me about that is people think that's cool. And it's clearly not, because like the virus is worse than it's ever been. Like even if you're cool with it, I know you're cool with it.
Wait, people think what part's cool? Just not giving a fuck?
No, yeah. I mean like just hey, you know what? You stay that side in Atlanta. Like Atlanta is awful, but nobody's reporting numbers. Nobody's reporting.
Are they even testing? That's my concern.
I don't even
know.
I don't know what they're doing down there. But the new hotspot apparently is Los Angeles, and
I read that this morning.
Yeah, they've reached 0% occupancy in ICUs. Like they are out of space in Los Angeles, and it's projected to get way worse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm looking at LA, who has way more. I'm no political scientist, but I'm pretty sure they have way more people in LA than they do in Atlanta. And everything I see in Atlanta is closed space, enclosed hookah, drinking, party, and all that type of stuff. In LA, you would think with a place that has much more open spaces and places to kind of social distance and still be around each other and safe. Whereas the worst in the country or the hotspot in the country.
Well, I think it
doesn't make sense.
Okay, so I think what it is with LA is more people travel to LA. So it's more chances of them taking it back. I don't think Atlanta is that much in and out as much as LA. I'm saying it doesn't.
But they both got international airports. They both have some of the biggest airports.
Yes, but I mean like a lot of people visit LA for work, to stay. So they're staying in hotels, Airbnbs, etc. There's more chances.
Of motherfuckers, but there's a lot of people going to Atlanta too because
people go to Atlanta just to party. I
was supposed to go to Atlanta for work.
And you didn't, did you?
No, we didn't go. We didn't go, but people are going. Like you still go to you still.
But had you had a meeting in LA, you would have went. You didn't go to Atlanta because it was Atlanta. And you're like, oh, that shit's crazy over there. They don't care about it. But LA, people are still.
I've 1,000% thought about going to Atlanta during this break. Like I went. I know you. Wait, all right. So tell me what it's like down there, because it's like, man, I done got the virus already, right? I know there's a possibility I can get it again. Okay, I know there's a possibility I can get it again. In the best case scenario, vaccines get to us regular folks in the next 3 or 4 months, if that, maybe spring.
What are they saying?
Summer. I don't think that's soon.
You know what I mean? They're already starting to get it to people, and there's 2 different vaccines. So people are saying by March, April, we can start seeing, us regular folks like just being able to walk up and get a vaccine and whatever. Anyway, point being.
Atlanta.
I want to go be in Atlanta. Like I want to. Like I just really fucking miss. I just miss people so much, and every time I feel like Atlanta is the only place in the world having fun. They made Clubhouse fun.
Hello, Texas.
Texas
is having a blast.
Texas is having all the fights with a full audience, yo.
I'm honestly
Miami. Strippers are still 24/7. The strip clubs.
I'm good. I found
that doesn't shock me.
I found my pocket here in Jersey and New York. I found my pocket of like when the fun that I can have, the places I can go, the people I can be around. I found my fun. I don't think I'm ready or willing to be in that kind of environment yet because it just looks too good to be true.
Nah,
you know what it is? So when I went, sorry, Kaz. Go ahead. I went in July, right? And I'm gonna tell you guys, like, it's fucking surreal. It's like a movie because it's like, do we live in the same country as Atlanta? I'm not even kidding. Like when I went there, it was just like nobody wears masks to go in store. It's like they don't have TVs or news, anything. It's like stepping into a time capsule. So Atlanta's still in 2018. So you go to Atlanta. Well, yeah, you go to Atlanta, you get off the plane, you're in 2018. Boom.
But I'm not gonna hold you. There's a small part of me.
He's like, 2018 was a good year. I'll go back.
There's a small part of me. I'm like, yo, 2018 wasn't bad. Wasn't a bad time.
I'll go back.
Wouldn't bad going back there for a couple
No, because you asked me how was Atlanta. That's exactly how Atlanta felt.
I was doing WWE still. Like,
that's exactly how Atlanta
traveling
felt.
the country every week. I was in another part of the country. 2018 was not bad.
Then you gotta come back to your. Then you gotta come back to your regular life. You gotta come back to 2020. And you gotta
I've been in my regular life.
I
I've been in my regular life for the past 10 months.
That's too much. That's too much of an insane, like, intense jump of life. Yeah. Going to Atlanta, staying there for like 3 or 4 days, and then coming right back here and having no access.
Shock?
The culture shock of that's intense.
All right, boom. All right, Lo, you'll relate to this. Lo, you remember when we used to go? Remember we used to do paloozas, right? When we travel or whatever. When we was touring, like the 1 or 2 years when we was doing like 30 cities in a year, right?
Right.
Damn, I wish I was there. I only went to like 2 cities.
You should have been on payroll, Rosie. As much as you got us drunk.
I feel like y'all owe me. Lowkey.
Lo, how many times did we really go out in between Palooza dates? Like Palooza.
In New York?
Yeah.
A lot.
Really? Because when I would come back from a tour, when I would come back from a party, when I come back from an event, I'd be good for weeks. I'd be good for like a week or 2.
Speak for yourself, Kaz.
Kaz.
What? Am I bullshit?
Kaz and Lo.
When I came back from
as the drunk,
tour,
sober bartender for you guys.
The Anthony didn't count though. Like
it was before the Anthony.
Griffin, Anthony,
everywhere. It was when you guys were on tour. Sons, everything. You guys would come back and get right back to it.
Nigga, every time I came back from either Trap Karaoke or Palooza, I go straight to Sahara. Like niggas, and then Monday after work, I go to. Bro, we was out.
It was no break Palooza. That's what it was.
Has it been this long? Has it been really this long though? Like I'm feeling like, damn, maybe I was.
We was
moving. Get him lit.
We was moving. We was moving.
And I remember when you guys did. Remember when you did Lo? Remember when y'all did Miami in like 2016? And I was living there, and it was me, you, and just a year. That's all I could take. And it was me, you, Cam, and someone else that was out there, like one of you guys. And it was Super Bowl weekend. Oh, and we went, and Ricky was out there too. I didn't remember seeing you were there, obviously, but you didn't come out with us. Ricky was there too, the comedian dude. Yeah. And we was out every single moment of every single day. Into the Palooza. After the Palooza. That's when the Super Bowl, and we had the Super Bowl at Clevelander.
Yeah, okay. Now I remember that. Yep.
That was the one where Brady brought the Falcons back.
That was the one where Lo invited some of his homegirls and nobody knew. That got the attitude. Yes, and one of your homeboys was like, they gotta go.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, he brought some bro with an attitude or some shit.
I think she was drunk. I think she was drunker than everybody else. I'm gonna go with that. And she was talking crazy, and
we'll let Lo tell that story. We don't know.
I mean, I don't know the story. It sounds familiar, but I don't know the story. But whatever the case is,
I was like, I think that might have checked out.
I mean, that definitely checks out. Like, okay, that makes sense. But to Rosie's point and to Kaz's point, like, nigga, we were out, we were moving, we did not stop.
My point is,
we did not stop at any point.
I want just one weekend to just be in the city that is just like does not give a fuck about COVID just for a weekend.
I can't.
Is that reckless of me?
Yeah.
No, I just want to know why. Just tell us why.
I can't be that careless.
The nostalgia, like you just want to go back in time for a little bit.
It doesn't
just for a weekend, yo. Like it just looks like they're just like.
So go to Houston for New Year's. Go ahead.
I've been thinking of going to Miami for
Miami for New Year's.
Going somewhere, just somewhere I can at least like a place that's fun where I can have a choice of being like dangerous in the club or whatever. But like if not, I can like go to a beach or go somewhere, you know.
So Miami,
need to go
to Miami.
People. Overseas where? Where's a good place to go that people are just letting them?
Just go to Miami, bro.
I think I'm
I
trying.
heard Barbados. Barbados is
no,
a lot of people
Australia.
heard.
You have to quarantine for 14 days when you land.
I mean, a 14-week, a 2-week quarantine is not too bad for getting fucked up.
Bro, I'm not going to Australia to quarantine for 2 weeks
and then have fun for 2 days.
And come back for 2 days.
Right?
No.
Like no, that's a waste of money.
Get it. That doesn't make
That's a waste
any
of
sense.
money. Yeah, it's stupid.
I would do like so. Wait, so can I go to Hawaii? I can go to Hawaii, right?
You might have to quarantine as well.
What about
I have to
Jamaica?
quarantine. How long to go
Oh,
quarantine?
I don't know.
I'm trying to get to Jamaica.
I see a lot of folks. All right, so did anybody go to Tulum during the break?
I haven't gone.
Or know somebody that went to Tulum?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that went.
Yeah, a lot of motherfuckers went.
So how long was the quarantine there? Did they have to quarantine?
They didn't have to quarantine. They just had to take the test before they went.
Now the cases over there, it's a little high over there, but
Yeah, because they done turned it into spring break
I'll
Miami.
take a little high. That's what I'm saying. Like it turned into Miami South. Like everybody who was there.
I wasn't mad at it. Like nigga, yeah, go. That's the hot spot to go to. Niggas just cause I couldn't go because I'm not doing that. But also niggas was recording and doing radio shit, so I didn't have the free accesses to get up and get the fuck out of Dodge. Like niggas still had to work.
Let me tell you something. That might be a move, yo. I just got to get out of here, bro. I'm just.
I get it, yo. I get it.
I'm going
nuts. I get it.
Nuts.
I encourage it. I went on my 2-month tour, so.
All I'm saying is just be careful, brother.
You're Carmen Sandiego when it comes to like just getting out. Like
I'm ready to go already.
You'll legit be gone for like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm like, are you even in town? Like
no.
I'm in North Dakota. I'm like, what the fuck's North Dakota?
I don't know. There were some mountains here that I wanted to see or hike. That's exactly what I was doing.
My thing
like,
is
why
just
are you in
getting
Utah?
out.
I was like hiking.
My thing is just getting out the city. Like I can go to DC and be fine. And be like,
yeah,
yo,
I love DC.
I just got out. I got out of this environment. That's all I need. But I don't need to put myself in more danger than I already do anyway. When I go fucking smoke hookah and do that, this, that, and the third.
I don't know. I would if I went to Atlanta, I would still mask up. Like no one is not doing shit.
And they would know you're from out of town.
Yeah, they know you from. It's like wearing the Yankee hat.
Are they gonna press me about it?
It's like, see the nigga with the Yankee hat? Yeah, he from New York. Nigga probably got the mask. Oh, he from New York too.
Like you remember,
if the Yankee hat didn't give it away, if the Rock Nation hat didn't give it away, also this fucking mask to protect myself and protect
they got Rock Nation implants down in Atlanta too.
They do. They're just a peach. It's a flying peach instead of.
No, they're definitely gonna know you're from. He ain't from here. Why you got a mask on, stupid?
Whatever y'all do, and anyone who watching this right now has been thinking the same thing or have had the same sentiments. Whatever you do, just understand that your consequences and your decisions are solely based on you. And if you want to go to Tulum, if you want to go to Puerto Rico, if you want to go to Jamaica, that's totally fine. If you want to go to Atlanta for a weekend, yeah, if you want to do all that, that's totally fine. But understand the risk that you're putting yourself and your loved ones at, because once you come back, you may not know that you got infected with the disease, or you may not. But just understand that the decisions that you make will decide the fate of you and those around you. So just be careful. Have fun.
The messed up part about it is like now you're just starting to hear about all these cases from people who just like went to get things for Thanksgiving. Right. Like folks are getting sick, their whole families are getting sick. It's like, yeah, we all just spent time together and yada yada yada. It's like,
so just be careful about what you're doing. That's all. And no one judge. Like I said, we're not going to judge you. Like if Kaz, you want to get to Atlanta,
you
bro,
will
just
judge. I be judging.
I will.
So you're judging yourself.
After all
if you go to
this
Atlanta,
time,
you're judging yourself if you go to Atlanta.
Of course, that's the thing. Like I'm fully aware of like my irrationalities right now. I know I'm not thinking straight. I know I'm like, yo, this is the dumbest idea possible, but like I was bringing in the bottles to set up for the episode, and somebody was playing music, and I got flashbacks. I was like,
you felt like a bottle girl.
Remember bottles and music? These are the days.
But see, like maybe that's why, like when I go to Sahara and we bring our bottles, like maybe that's like the only thing that I need. Like, oh, okay, this is what it felt like. It was fun. Like we're drinking this and the third. We got music playing. There's bitches walking in and out, whatever. And then after the night's over, I'm good.
It ain't the same, Lo. I've been with you to Sahara. I've been with you to Sahara on a poppin' night too. Super poppin' night. We brought the ladies out. You know what I mean? It was a good night. And even then, like we're doing drinks and hookah and stuff, and everyone's kind of Ray and outside. I'm just like,
it's not the same.
it's just not the same.
I get it, brother. I get it.
No,
I
don't know, man. I might do something for New Year's.
You worked in nightlife for a long time, right? Like, what do you? Somebody who's like seen the inner workings of just how like popular night establishments work.
Yeah.
Right.
What's gonna be the biggest difference when we go back? Like, if their vaccine happens or whatever, like if shit happens, like what's gonna be the one thing where that they're gonna be like, you know what? That's never coming back.
Handshakes.
Like, that thing that you like.
Handshakes will be back. Handshakes will be back.
You said what would be back?
Handshakes.
I low-key still dap people.
I'm dapping people.
I low-key still dap people.
I'm still dapping niggas.
Yeah.
I don't think nightlife is ever coming back. Not in certain cities. You know they got some low key shit going on right now.
You know what's not gonna come back.
But maybe like social distancing tables, like limit of people to a table, maybe stuff like that.
Drinking out the bottle is never coming back.
That was always gross. That was always gross.
Y'all see Mulatto?
That was always disgusting.
Only drinking out the bottle.
Mulatto was celebrating her birthday, and and mind you, of course, in Atlanta, Mulatto was celebrating her birthday, and they're passing bottles around each other, taking shots to the mouth, out the spout.
Like they weren't doing the little thing.
They was passing that shit. I'm like, yo, Atlanta. Somebody shared the video.
That's where you want to go.
I'm like, COVID really doesn't exist in Atlanta.
I might go for New Year's. I'm not gonna lie. I might go.
I might ring that bell, bro.
I might. Kaz, let me know, because
it's like,
let me look up a flight. Hold on. Let me look up a flight to Atlanta real quick.
And even before Corona.
I just won't post about it so I don't get judged by people like Kaz.
Post about it. Hell no.
Like Kaz was at home mad. Because he wanted to go.
You literally just told on yourself.
Y'all know, you all know about it weeks later. Once it passes the 3 week mark and I'm all good, then I'm like, yo, Tootsie. I don't even know Tootsie's still open, but all these spots,
Tootsie's is open.
I bet
they still giving shoulder rubs. Second floor.
That's the one thing that's never gonna go out of business. I don't care if it's
strip clubs.
Yes, like
which doesn't make sense. That's worse than a regular club. What doesn't make sense? That's worse than a regular club.
It's the oldest. It's not about that. It's the oldest profession in the world. The oldest profession in the world.
But okay.
Well, exactly. It's a step below. But like, you know, like you want to.
It can lead to that if you want.
It can lead to that. Like if you have certain things you're trying to pay, like. Allegedly.
Lowe's like, what strip club are you guys going to?
From people I've met. I'm just saying.
Where the fuck are y'all going?
Listen, something strange for a piece of change is not just a phrase, okay? Like that.
Private dances?
Sometimes I gotta let Rosy and Kaz go on their little tangents because that nigga they go
stop it. You don't know no strippers. You don't know no strippers that you pay them a little extra.
A little extra.
You don't know none of your niggas, none of your friends that were like, yeah, son, I'll pay the extra,
no, I'm kidding.
The extra $200, the extra $300, however it costs. We all know that friend that trusts the strip club too much. We all know that one friend that trusts the strip club way too much.
I'm not incriminating none of my niggas, man.
Of course, I'm saying.
We're not naming no names.
That phrase alone lets me know that you all know a guy that takes it too far when they go to the strip club. Like, damn. Earl's been out for a long time. Like, when's he coming back from that room? That's a long lap dance.
That's a long dance.
I'm just saying, listen, I'm just saying, don't go to no strip club during the Roni, man. Come on, just stay out the strip club during the Roni.
Strip clubs are packed.
I know.
The power of horniness will always overpower the thoughts of safety when it comes
logical
to dudes.
Thought. Oh my bad.
Logical thought.
Logic.
Same thing.
I was like, logic.
Horniness will always take over logic.
Fuck logic. Give me the Rona. I want to see some ass and titties. Ass and titties.
Ass and
titties.
Listen, this is just to see boobs. All right, this is just to see them. People, there have been diseases here that will literally make it feel like you are peeing fire. And people were still like, I don't need condoms.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
But
like
that shit wasn't killing.
Logic and horniness I mean, there's
They're not
other
friends.
stuff that kills
not
people.
friends.
Okay.
There's other stuff that kills people. I was just using that as one specific example. But logic and horniness has never eked out. So of course strip clubs are always going to be popping, especially during a pandemic where things are going crazy and nuts or whatever. It's nuts.
Jake, you got in a private dance?
Yeah.
You got in a private dance? He said, huh?
He said, yeah, plenty.
Ever?
Not at the club?
Not since COVID started, no.
Hell
Oh,
no.
not since COVID started. Ooh, good answer, Jake. See?
Yeah.
But he said yes. He said yes.
It's been years since
we've all had private. I've had a private dance before. Yeah. That's.
I've had a private dance.
You should. We know. That's honestly, that is more fun to me at the strip club. Like, I know there's limits at the strip club, right? We all know we're just gonna call him Earl. There's Earl that takes it too far, that will spend anything he needs to spend to do whatever he wants with that girl, whatever.
Listen,
my favorite part of going to the strip club is either going with female friends and letting them go nuts with the stripper.
Oh yeah,
that private dance. That private dance is the art of mental illusion.
I'm the throwing queen.
Of course.
It's the art of mental illusion.
When you're young, when you're in your early 20s, late teens, whatever, like a table dance, a strip club.
Late teens.
18, 19, no.
What strip club you going to? Where did you grow up?
I was definitely in a strip club at 19.
Where'd you grow up? Pennsylvania?
We got a little X on your arm, can't drink. They let you in, they let you spend your money. They take your money, you just can't drink. I forgot the name of the strip club.
That is a wild boy, yo.
Yeah. How is that wild? Anybody who was born, anybody who went to high school.
This man said X on my hand.
Anybody who went to high school. So you didn't go to a strip club as a freshman in college?
I didn't.
You didn't? Nobody did.
I'm gonna tell you this, Kaz.
I didn't play basketball though, so that might have been.
Or you could have just looked like you did.
I got all those experiences.
I was a college athlete. All right, NCAA. Damn
Go
it.
ahead, Lo.
Skyline Conference Player of the Week 3 times.
I got all those experiences late in life, so I didn't touch strip clubs until after I came out of college. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't really, and this is the whole thing about me. I wasn't really partying and drinking until I really got out of school. I didn't go to parties.
You're a responsible young man.
I didn't do that. I had my radio show at Howard. I kept to myself, made my mixtapes, made my beats, and just did that. I wasn't really touching the town until I graduated.
So you were a nerd.
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't that kind of surprises me, Lo. Like, I mean,
I wasn't this person.
I mean, to hear that to how he is now.
Yeah.
I got a late start with a lot of shit.
All right, okay. Shit.
I got a late start with a lot of shit. So when niggas be like, yo, you're 38, I'm like, yeah, I'm just catching. Yeah, we know you was in the club at 16, Rosy, and you was pushing drugs and doing all that shit. We get it, Rosy. You were living on the edge, Rosy.
First off, you can't put that circular on Rosy, right? Any girl in New York City was at least in the club when they were 14, 15 years old. They all had the fake IDs. They all had somebody that so we gonna lie?
I wasn't here, number one. And number two, I have brothers. I'm the only girl and I'm the baby. I wasn't going nowhere. I didn't do shit till I was 18 and I moved out. I didn't do shit.
Way to live the gimmick, Rosy. I know they're listening to the show.
Yeah, like, come on.
I swear to God.
You clean that shit up nice. That was good.
All right, so when did I know you were in North Carolina. When did you get to New York?
When I was 18, I moved out.
Oh, okay. All right. That checks out.
I have crazy brothers and a crazy dad.
Listen, I know.
Do you know Spanish women? All their dads are
plenty of Spanish women.
They're not going anywhere. Exactly.
That had older brothers that would get exactly. That's all the incentive to be like, I'm gonna
like, fuck it, I'm out.
Sneak out the house and do that shit. Like,
I would sneak out the house, but I wasn't in clubs. I was at house parties, and I'd be scared to death coming home. But that's why I was so wild at 19, because it was like me in living my high school years, but I can drink now and do what I want.
So many girls in high school that went to high school in New York, New Jersey, like that. There was always the either weird older dudes hanging around them that made them feel older. And this sounds so awful. Like in hindsight.
Explain.
Yeah, it is it's awful. It is really awful. Kind of look. What's up?
No, I was just trying to derail you.
No. It's fine. I mean, like, this is kind of, I mean, it's messed up to kind of look back at it now, but like when we were younger, you know, there would always be, you know, especially around like my sophomore, junior year of high school, there'd always be like either the college freshmen or the older guys that would still lurk around the high schools that drove cars. So as soon as high school girls would see the boys with the cars, they'd be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And they felt like they were older, mature. You catch them, they'd be in the clubs, they'd be partying, they'd be drinking, they'd be doing all this type of stuff. And like now, you know, when I was that age, I feel like I was hating. I was like, man, fuck the
and now you're like, they're creeps.
Now you grow up like, yo, these motherfuckers are creeps, dude. Like, imagine.
You know
like,
what's funny?
As soon as I graduated high school, I never went back to St. Patrick's again. I went back maybe 2 times to watch games. But like now, like thinking back at it, like
those little pedophile.
Being in college. On campus, like as soon as I got on campus, I was like, I'm never leaving this place. This is heaven. This is fantastic. Imagine
if you play sports, you would go back to like the homecoming game, or not the home, but like the Thanksgiving games, like the basketball games.
Right. We go to the rivalry games and stuff like that.
That's the highest of, you know, existence you would be in your high school.
But I knew dudes that would just post up at the
But you know what, Kaz? Hold on. Because I knew guys like that too at my high school. They would come back, but I don't think they went to college. They were like at a community college or something.
Right.
So they would come back after school. They weren't in college. They would come back. Well, the community college is college, but I'm saying they weren't away. So they'd come back and lurk on us, and we would think that they were cool. And in retrospect, I'm like, that was creepy. That's mad pedophile-ish.
Creepy, like
what were you doing
pedophiles, there? like you sitting there posted up for the
waiting for the little girls, little pretty bitches to come out.
Little girls, and God forbid it's a new girl. God forbid it's a freshman that nobody's seen before, some new meat. They be all, you know, such and such is dating a guy in college, you know, such and such. Right. And back then, like some certain girls thought it was cool. I was just hating because like I didn't have no car and I wasn't older and mature and stuff. But now I grow up. I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is rapists. Like, yo,
damn.
Yes.
No,
I'm sorry.
Pedophile.
Statutory rape, bro. Statutory rape, brother. In the state of New York and New Jersey, the age of consent is 18 years old, bro. And a lot of
rapist is you know a
strong word.
Rapist is an act.
Also when you're a freshman in high school, you're not smart enough.
No, listen, I'm not
if
saying
you're 19,
it's right.
20 years old and you preying on girls that are sophomores and juniors in high school, they're 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
I understand that. Listen, I understand.
And it don't take much to like lure them in.
I understand what you were saying. The accusations of that word is heavy. Yeah. And you never want to play with that word.
Kazeem taking it back.
It's heavy and correct, my G. There's no reason. There's no reason for you to be posted up at a high school poaching for 15, 16-year-old girls. I don't care if y'all haven't had sex. That's predatory behavior, bro. Like, you know, they're teenagers.
What was it, Kazeem? In your Honda Accord?
In your Honda Accord? And your Civic?
I'm not
saying the co-signing it. I think you're speaking mostly of the act of rape or whatever, right?
No, I'm talking about statutory rape as well.
Statutory rape.
Predatory.
Predatory behavior.
Vibes.
That shit is hand in hand, bro. Yeah. Like, there's no fucking reason for you to be posted up waiting for teenagers. You a grown man. You around grown men and women at wherever you're doing after, whether you got a job after college or job after high school, or you're in college or whatever. Like, it just never registered to me. Like, once I got to college and I went away, it was on dorm, I played ball and all that shit. I was like, yo, I'm never go. What? I never go. Why the hell would I go back to high school for what? Right. Who's over there?
Who all there?
Who all there? Like, I don't need to go there. Like, I'll watch the games. I'll see y'all hoop it up, and then like, motherfuckers talking about an after party with who?
You know what I always wanted to know, and I gotta ask some of my friends that were like raised in New York. I always wanted to know how those girls snuck out of their apartments.
I mean,
it's not a lot of ways you can do that.
Lots of danger. I mean, like, they got the fire escape.
You also gotta think. You gotta think. A lot of their parents weren't home. A lot of their parents worked late. A lot of their parents, like they weren't like our parents, where our parents would come home at 6 or 7 o'clock and just like cook dinner and then fall asleep. A lot of their parents were working overnight jobs. A lot of their parents weren't around. So like, it wasn't really them sneaking out the house. It was just they were on their own kind of. This is my environment, so yeah, I'm gonna go and come as I please. Because sneaking out of a fucking New York City apartment is like on some David Blaine shit. Like that's not. But
I know girls that used to do it, so I have to ask them how.
I know people who did it.
I know girls that used to have guys sneak into their apartment. I'm like, how?
Yeah, that's cap. That's cap.
Yeah.
How?
That's cap. As small as those apartments are, and as big as those doors make noise. So
but I think the girl that I'm talking about, if I'm not mistaken, her fire escape was in her room. So there's a lot of danger, like Kaz said.
You gotta think of the socioeconomic, results of this, right? It's an apartment. I'm assuming that's in the upper Manhattan or Brooklyn. You know what I mean? The Heights, Bronx. Probably not making out that much money. Moms and dads both working jobs, probably working late or whatever. There's got to be an opportunity to sneak out the crib, man.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Those are circumstances that allow them to do that. So it's not even sneaking out the house. It's just, I know dad got to work tonight. I know mom's working an overnight shift.
It's just a routine knowing the schedule.
It's a routine. Like, yo, Tuesday and Wednesday, they not here. All right, yo, pull up. Or, yo, I'm going to meet you at the spot and I got to be back at a certain time.
Yeah,
I knew.
My mom's gonna hate for hearing this. Even I knew when my mom was out of town.
Your mom be listening? Hi, Mom.
Yeah, my mom listens to the podcast all the time. She loves the podcast, and she doesn't talk to me when I say when I talk about like stuff that she hates to hear. So she'll be mad at me for a week, but it's all good. But even she'll, and here goes another one. Even she'll be upset, not upset, but I'll know if my mom's out of town for a couple of days.
What you can do.
What I can do, like me and my brother, we'd politic, be like, all right, boom, we gonna get the shorties come through here. We gonna do that. I got an older brother. He works for Asylum Records. You know what I mean? Head of digital marketing. Go check him out. Sada Baby, all those guys.
Interesting.
Listen, it's a build routine.
Yes.
And it's build habits because your parents aren't going to be there, and your
so
parents
you snuck out low.
Nah, I wasn't.
You had to budget out.
No, what happened was
Low said he didn't really do shit until he was like 21, 22.
But what happened was my house. We had a not for nothing. We had a huge house when I was in high school. Right. So I didn't have to sneak out. What I did was I brought my friends to meet
over to the house.
So like we had this huge ass basement where like we had a bar, like a built-in bar, and my parents would always tell me, they'd be like, "Yo, if you're gonna drink, do that shit here.
That's the kind of parent I'm gonna be.
Don't drive because if something happened, you'll drink right here." And the worst that I would do, it was just I would sneak niggas in the basement and keep people there, and I just be like, "Yo," my pops would come down and be like, "Yo, just be quiet. Like if y'all gonna be down there, just be quiet. Like I know you. I just heard you sneak niggas in. Be quiet." And that'd be that. You're not slick. Like I heard the basement door close. I knew it was supposed to only be 3 of y'all. Now I hear girls, and now I hear more guys. It's like just be
What's this,
careful.
bitches?
All right, he's like, yo, just be quiet.
Well, like the older you get now, like if I'm a parent, like yes, you'd want that. Like, all right, look at my little kid think he's slick. I'm gonna pretend I don't know anything, but like as long as they're all here and safe and in my home, like I could get with that.
Yeah,
right.
That's all they told me.
When you're sneaking kids into your house, right? When the parents aren't there,
now we're responsible for them.
You got it. Like there's so much things you got to budget out. Whoops, my fault. There's so much things you have to budget out when it comes to like pulling this off, right? Like you gotta, make sure everybody gets there on time. Make sure you got everything set up. Make sure everybody leaves. Make sure you allot enough time to clean the house afterwards. So when mom comes back, doesn't notice anything wrong. All right, like this. It's a lot. I didn't do it much.
I'm going to Earl House.
It might have only happened like twice.
There it goes, Kaz.
I'm
frozen?
Man.
Oh, in his fancy studio. How does he look now?
I'm frozen. Fuck.
No, you're keeping this going. Keep this going.
Look. Everybody to the Kaz. Everybody to the Kaz.
No, like this. Come on, man. Like, yo, Kaz, get this shit together, bro.
Hey.
What's up?
Grey Goose is making it easier than ever to enjoy that cocktail that you've worked so hard for. And spoiler alert, you don't even need to leave the house to make it. Go to greygoose.com and you can get your very own Grey Goose Holiday Cocktail Kit. Here's how you get it. The Grey Goose Holiday Punch Cocktail Kit comes with Grey Goose vodka, pomegranate juice, a dehydrated lemon wheel, Martinez Rossi Prosecco, black tea, and some very special garnish to put at the end. So you could impress your pod that you're quarantining with your at-home bartending skills safely by going to greygoose.com and getting your very own Grey Goose Holiday Punch Cocktail Kit. Playboy.
The fancy studio.
We're going to keep talking. Fuck this shit. We're going to keep talking.
He just got to jump in when he jump in.
My whole thing, my big thing was when
This
we were...
is our life.
Stop talking about Cass.
This is our life. This is our life during Corona.
So when,
There's two Casses. That's disgusting.
No, I see. You got one right.
Wow,
The pause one.
wow. All right, Rosie, damn. It's got to be disgusting to have two Casses? Wow.
Because I could picture both of y'all talking. I'm like, ah!
Wow. Okay. Thought I had a friend. My fault. Nah, you know what? Keep it. Keep your thoughts to yourself. I'm gonna remember all this shit. Next time it comes for gift giving.
Stop it. Go, Lo, what was your story?
No, so what I was saying was the thing that would normally get me in trouble if my parents weren't around or if they were like, you know, they went out of town, whatever it is. The neighbors would see all the cars. So
snitchies.
The neighbors would be like, yo, Niall had, there was a little activity going on in your
unusual
house.
Activity.
So they would come back and like they would calmly and like just politely ask, so who did you have over at the house this weekend? Oh, I'm like, no, it was just me and Jamar and they were like, oh really? That's it?
Earl that likes the strip
That's
club.
not what I heard.
They were like, that's it, because
Earl that likes the rooms.
They were like, Debbie called us and told us you had about 6 cars in front of the
Fucking
house.
Debbie. Shit.
And that would always be the thing. So like moving forward, I'd be like, you know what? Yo, can I have the squad over tonight? Like, can we do whatever? And I'm like, yeah, just don't do nothing dumb. Like that sneaking in and out shit. And while we're out of town, it's gonna get you in fucking trouble.
That's a big ratio, saying don't do nothing dumb. What constitutes as something dumb?
I wouldn't even get into that because then I'll be like, when I do something dumb, they're like, I told you. Well,
I told you
hold
not
on.
to.
You said in my book this wasn't dumb. So I don't know. You didn't specify.
That's what it was. The neighbors got me in trouble, and the neighbors just like threw us under the bus so many times. Me and my sister.
Well, they were looking out for you, kind of.
No, they wasn't. They didn't want motherfuckers in front of their house. No. They didn't want motherfuckers in front of the house.
And all the kids at the same time.
I lived in a rich Jewish neighborhood growing up.
Yeah.
And them motherfuckers are, rats. Them niggas are snitches. They'll tell on you in a heartbeat.
Y'all moved in. There goes the neighborhood.
I think there's something happened at the Ivy residence. We should go check what's happening.
Angelica right there. There's too many cars.
I just don't know.
So is Debbie
I don't know what's going on. I just saw a lot of cars. I saw a lot of cars. I saw a lot of
Debbie.
I saw a lot
Debbie's
of
the original Karen.
Yes.
So originally Karen was old and Jewish. And then she turned into Karen. Got it. Copy.
At least in my neighborhood.
I just saw a lot of cars, a lot of minorities back there. I don't know. I just want to make sure that they're okay. I knew you guys were out of town. Jake, is that off? Is that on? Is that more Italian or Jewish? More Italian, right?
No, just Jersey. You just did Jersey.
Jersey.
But
wasn't Italian? Okay.
It wasn't bad.
I feel like I got white moms down pat. Like I grew up with a lot of there's a lot of white moms in my life. So
a little more white than Jewish, I think.
A lot of white moms in your life.
A lot of white moms. Yes. I mean, I played, Staten Island, New York, bro. A lot of white boys, a lot of white moms.
Oh, so that's where that accent came. That was spot on. If that was Staten Island, New York, that was that.
Oh, okay. So my Staten Island.
That was white Staten Island mom.
Yeah, like I could be a cast member on the Jersey Shore if needed. Like I speak fluent.
You should put that out there just as a guest. Hey, when you guys do a reunion, can I just slide in? They're gonna be like, who's this?
You need a black guy. Listen, Jersey Shore, y'all have needed a black guy for the past 10 years, man. Just to balance it out, just to keep. Is Jersey Shore still on? Are you kidding me? I still watch this shit every week.
If
Jersey
you
Shore
showed
family
up,
vacation? Yes.
that would be
Fucking Dina's
hilarious.
married, got kids. Paulie D got a girlfriend now. The situation went to jail for
Why?
IRS, came back.
Free Mike
You know what I
Sitch,
mean?
yeah.
Getting married. Free to Sitch, Big Daddy Sitch.
Free to Sitch.
This is what I was saying. This is what I said last episode. This nigga has infinite knowledge about everything.
Yeah, because why do you know this? What the fuck? Why do you know this?
You pretty much did a runner show of Jersey.
There's only two things keeping the lights on at Viacom: ridiculousness reruns and Jersey Shore. All right, so
That's true.
you gotta watch Jersey Shore. And Paulie D, Vinny, Staten Island represent. You know what I mean? The other one, Angelina's Staten Island representer. You know what I mean? Like, it's a shitty place to live, but if you've been there, it's like, or you watch Jersey Shore, you're just like, oh, that's my neighborhood.
Why is it
'Cause
Jersey
it's
Shore if
small,
they're all
it's
from Staten
small.
Island? That's not fair.
I mean, that's the thing. Most of the people that were on Jersey Shore were either from Staten Island or Long Island also. I actually think Paulie D's from like Connecticut or some shit. But, you know, Vinny's from Staten Island. Angelina's from Staten Island. And the place is so small, anytime they go somewhere, like, you know what it is. It's the smallest borough. It's like going from...
Of course they're
it's
from
like,
Staten Island. Listen to their names. Vinny, Angelina.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That checks out.
Paulie.
Paulie D.
What?
Paulie.
Ronnie and Sammy Sweetheart.
Listen, Vinny, he's from Staten Island. Get the fuck out of here.
I love Jersey Shore. We're all allowed to have like our stupid guilty pleasures. Like,
And Jersey Shore is yours. What's yours,
Jersey
Lo?
Shore has been mine for a long time.
I respect that.
Nothing. What's yours, Lo?
My guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure. You know what I'm gonna call it? I'm gonna call it my comfort pleasure. Like the show that I just watch over and over and over and over.
Was
and
it
I can
Friends?
tell you, it's New Girl.
Okay. All right.
Who's that girl?
I will watch
But New
that
Girl's a good show though. Like New Girl has like good writing
Well,
and
that's why I
like,
said.
you know,
That's why I said guilty. That's why I said comfort.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know,
But
like,
I'm talking
you
about,
have-
when I'm talking about a guilty pleasure, I'm talking
know,
about
do
like
I-
a show
Guilt and
that
pleasure.
somebody found out you watched the show, they look at you like
All
I
the
don't know. I don't know if I
time.
have one. I don't know if I have one.
like it's
A
not like
guilty pleasure.
Maury or something. Like
Nah.
I know people that watch Maury
Would it be
religiously.
Friends? Would
What's wrong with
Friends be
Maury?
one?
Nah, because Friends
No,
has good
Friends,
writing
Friends
too.
is like,
Friends is a good
Friends
show.
is like a critically acclaimed show.
you should feel
like
guilty about liking
people.
Friends.
Nah.
No, stop.
No,
Friends
I'm
is a
not.
good. Even though I clown Friends for not having black people in New York City,
Yeah.
I still think it's a good show, and I understand why people would like.
They
it.
had
Whatever.
Gabrielle Union. That was it.
Was it Gabrielle Union? I
No,
thought
it wasn't. Wait, what's
I
It
thought
was
the-
Gabby.
Banks and
She
Gabrielle.
played Ross's girlfriend one season.
No, that
No,
wasn't
that
Gabrielle
was-
Union.
that wasn't Gabrielle Union. That was another girl.
See, that's what I get
She was-
you.
no.
That was
It was
another
shorty
girl.
that used to be on. It was Aisha
Taylor?
Taylor. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, it was not Gabrielle Union, yo. I guarantee you. Yo.
Gabrielle Union.
Go hit up IMDb as Aisha Taylor.
What do I get if
I think she used to host a show on E.
What do I get if I'm right?
Gabrielle Union was actually on Friends at one point though.
Really?
Yeah,
For what?
one episode.
She
The
was.
one-
she
One
she was
episode.
flirting
No,
with
this girl-
Ross.
this girl
the one
was
with
a-
the cheap wedding dress.
All right, but this girl was like a reoccurring character on Friends.
Yeah,
though.
No, but Gabrielle Union wasn't. She was in more than one episode. She was Ross's girlfriend at one point.
No, she
and that Rachel was
wasn't.
jealous
No.
of.
This girl
Yes,
that we're
Rachel was
talking.
jealous of her.
Can I just tell you how hilarious how like black folks and brown folks know nothing?
No, you know what happened? No, you know what happened? I'll tell you. I know exactly what episode it is.
She went on a double date with Ross and Joy.
Right. So she wasn't dating. She went on a date. They just moved in. She had just moved into the neighborhood.
Okay.
Ross and Joey had just caught her like on the street, like, yo, I'm gonna help you move in. And then the
Yes,
other one said, I'm gonna help
yes.
you move in. And
Yes,
then they both
and they
went on
both
a date.
wanted her.
And
Yes.
that was it. It wasn't. Yeah, she took one episode.
Whatever, I was right though.
Get
so
your story.
I won.
No,
Alright,
you
you
were
were
right.
right.
Technically,
You were right.
technically, you were right.
The NBA is
Y'all
back.
thought I was racially like
Technically, you were right.
whatever, guys.
So I still don't know.
what's
I still don't know
another
your guilty
pleasure show?
pleasures, man.
What's a stupid show?
I don't know. I don't know if I have a guilty pleasure show.
Another guilty pleasure show that I love. Cheaters. I watch Cheaters every Saturday morning on VH1.
Yeah, I don't
They'll
know.
show like a block. No.
Okay, I used to watch a lot of Catfish.
All right, Catfish is a good guilty pleasure show. I can
I
go
used
with
to watch
that.
a lot of
Now I
Catfish.
need, now I need one. Fuck. Now
You
I
need
a
one.
guilty-
Everybody
I used to watch
needs-
a lot of Catfish. Ridiculousness, I do watch it.
Yeah,
That show's so horrible.
I feel
I
like
hate that
every
show.
It's
well-adjusted
bad,
person.
but I watch it, and I can't stand her laugh. I'm like,
Chanel West Coast.
yeah. Every time she's laughing, I'm like,
Yeah.
I cringe a little, but it's pretty funny.
Damn,
I feel like
maybe
every
Tosh
well-
Point oh, I watch Tosh Point oh a lot.
All right, Touch Point, no, that's a good guilty pleasure watch. That's a good guilty pleasure watch.
I watch it a lot. Like if it's on, I
every
watch
well-adjusted person needs like a stupid show just to balance them out. I don't trust nobody that watches only good shit.
What's the dumbest show though?
I don't know why.
I don't trust people that only.
I love Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue, that's a good show. That's a good show.
I love Bar Rescue. By the way, Kaz, Marshawn.
Guilty. All right, okay, maybe I don't know. Like, this is gonna seem weird.
What you say, Rosie?
I said Marshawn Lynch has an episode on Bar Rescue. By the way.
Yo, you and the Marshawn Lynch. Thing.
No, but it's funny.
Let it go,
it's funny.
Rosie. Let it go, Rosie.
It's my favorite show.
He's not coming here. Even though I was supposed to get him on the show. But he's in Hawaii right now. But we're gonna.
All right, don't get him on the show. Do not. I will not participate that day. I'll be sick.
Marshawn Lynch does it for certain people, and I understand.
No, but listen. Do you guys watch Bar Rescue? It's actually a really good show, and I don't know if it's because I did nightlife.
Yeah.
But I just like the John Taffer. T-Pain was on it one episode. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious, but I just like how he comes in. He's like, "Do you not hear what I'm saying?" And he's all dramatic, and everybody's scared because he's a big dude. And he's like, "This is disgusting. Would you eat here? Look at this." Like, oh my god! If he came into my bar, I'm walking out.
I can't find the interesting points
it's
in
these shows. I guess because I worked at bars and clubs.
I can fuck with it. That's what I'm saying.
I get it.
Like
I get
bars,
it. It's just not.
Like it's I call it guilty pleasures, right? Because it's so stupid, it's genius. Like shows that are so stupid, they're genius. It's like, why didn't I like Cheaters? Such a stupid show, but it's genius because it's like, who in the hell else would put together a show?
Why don't we do one? We could do one. We could do a stupid show.
Why is Cheers stupid?
It's stupid because the actual content of the show is stupid. It's like, all right.
Let's catch people cheating and what?
Yeah, like you're not gonna. It's not
Cheaters.
Cheaters.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Cheers. I'm like.
Oh no.
Okay, Cheaters. Yeah.
Cheaters. Yeah.
Cheaters.
Like
Cheaters
a concept that is so stupid and simple.
Yeah.
But somebody had the balls to pull it off, and therefore it's brilliant. Like Bar Rescue is a perfect show for that.
I honestly don't think Cheaters is a real show. It's not, right? It's like this is all made up.
Do you guys remember that dating show? Do you guys remember that dating show where there was a time clock at the bottom, and it was like a blind date show, and there's like a time clock at the bottom.
Oh, it was on MTV, right?
Next.
I think so.
Next.
Yes.
That's what I was going.
I was
like
just
that
watching that shit too.
I like that.
Oh man, that was actually a good show.
I liked it. Lo, what's yours? He still hasn't said one.
Okay, my guilty pleasure is like going on YouTube and watching people cook steaks.
Yo, I fuck with you, Lo. I fuck with you heavy.
No, that's some high shit. That's not even a guilty.
That's right.
That's my guilty pleasure.
Watch people cook
a nice medium rare.
Watch them like how they season it, how they how they heat it up, and like I
getting
like watching
good crust. That's
right.
right.
We can't go.
I like watching
Lo
people
and
cook.
Eddin are reaching a new level of washed.
I like watching people cook. Like
says a man who can't make a steak, Kaz.
It's like, first off, I can cook the hell. Motherfucker, people here have eaten my steaks. All right, I can eat it. I can cook a damn steak. All right,
I haven't had none of your steaks yet, bro.
You haven't?
No.
Not at the barbecue.
Why did
you didn't have a steak at the barbecue?
Like Brady Bunch. Lo was like, I didn't have any of your steaks.
No,
bro.
the only people that cook in your house are Jazz.
I didn't do that, Kaz.
No, for the grill. I was on the grill.
I've never had a steak. I'm
talking about 4th of July and when I had some barbecues during the summer. Like I was on the grill. I was chefing up.
I'm talking about steak, bro. I'm not talking about chicken and burgers. I'm talking about steak.
All right.
You've never cooked a steak.
We can't go down that route though. Because if that's the case, I will watch Facebook videos all day.
How does everybody like their steak here? I'm just curious.
Just
if you
spiral.
eat steak.
I'm a medium guy.
Medium
rare.
If it's not good medium, it's not good at all. Like
Yeah,
I'm
medium.
not sure.
Straight medium.
Really?
Not sure. I went like 9 years without eating red meat. So when I came back,
Fair.
I was like, I just know I don't want it really bloody and I know I don't want it chewy. So whatever is between that.
So
you were
medium.
eating
You don't
steaks
want it
well
chewy?
done, Rosie?
If it's a
want
nice
it chewy.
medium rare, if it's like some dingy place medium,
Y'all have never had steak that's so chewy you just gotta swallow the whole piece
that's
because
it's too cooked.
you're just tired. You're like,
What's the color of it? What's the
I
color of it?
choke. Fuck it.
Is it
What's the
gray?
color of it?
I don't know. Uptown.
There
Let me
is
tell you
no
something about
color.
Uptown New York. Let me tell you something about Washington Heights. Do not give them a temperature because it's gonna come out the same.
It's well done, bro.
Like we can,
niggas, you're not. You
Medium
first of all,
like medium well, and one
They
gets a
might give
rare.
you a medium well.
It's all
but
the same
no.
shit.
First
They don't
off,
care. They
if
don't
you're,
know
if you're ordering
temperatures.
steaks from Uptown, there's something wrong with your palate.
I mean, it's delicious, but
You're supposed
It's
to order
seasoned
your
well.
steaks Midtown and below. Do not go to the Heights to order a fucking steak.
That's a very Dominican thing, though. They make all of their steaks at
everything
one
the same.
temperature.
The
It's all
same
the same.
temperature.
It's one
It's
piece
all
of
the
don't
same
know temperatures.
temperature.
But
It's
they
one
still
piece of
ask
charcoal.
you. Out of respect and courtesy, they still ask you, and then they
They'll
give you the
ask you,
same
and then
shit.
they'll just give you well done or medium well.
Well done. Well done. That's what you
Do
get.
not,
See?
yo, do not go to Heights. Do not go
Bar
anywhere
rescue,
looking for a fucking.
come uptown. You'd be
See?
pissed.
And that's why I'm saying Bar Rescue is a genius show, right? Because so many people relate to working nightlife, working in restaurants, or working in bars and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is a big part of our population. So of course there's
Yeah.
gonna be people that be like, oh man, I wish this guy came to my bar, or like, oh man, like I
Yeah.
could fix up a place better like this. Same thing with Jersey Shore, yo. We all know people that were greasy haired, tan, fist pumping, fucking, doing all the
I'm from Jersey.
Yo, it's a situation. Gym Tan Laundry,
GTL,
and bro,
GTL.
GTL. Like, I'm like, these are all the people I grew up with up until high school. Like, once I got to St. Pat's, this was literally all I knew. But even while I was still in high school, I'd still go back and visit these folks. And you really notice you don't really notice it, like, from kindergarten to middle school, that you grew up with, like, nothing but white
Guidos?
folks. And then Guidos. But, like, Staten Island had, like, Staten Island's a very segregated borough, right? Like, it's
Right.
white folks that live in, South Shore. There's
Okay.
cool white folks that live in North Shore.
Oh, there's two types of white
And
folks.
then there's
or is
black
there more?
people who live in like Port Richmond, Graniteville, Park Hill, whatever. Like it's very,
Wu-Tang?
very segregated. Yes, Wu-Tang from Park Hill.
Forever.
But you don't really notice the division up until you get into high school. Because as I grew up, I went to St. Pat's in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which was nothing
Damn.
but black people.
You took a
And
left.
My Staten Island friends all stayed in Staten Island. And every time we'd go and like coming back and hang out, it's like an episode of Jersey Shore. It's like the hair is extra spiky and greasy. Meanwhile, they're all wearing tight Abercrombie shirts and jeans. Meanwhile, I'm coming in with
your tight
long-ass
Abercrombie
Carmelo jerseys. That's where the difference was.
You came in with something tight. It was just a different brand.
St. Pat's. I came into my high school with the tight shirts and the polos and the jeans, and they was looking at me like, nigga, what are you wearing? What is that?
Right.
When I went to go see my Staten Island friends again, I had to show them, that I was, in high school now. I grew up. So I had fucking long white tee. My mom was like, why are you wearing these long white? Well, I'm a big boy now, right? So I had the throwbacks on. I had 3 jerseys that I kept in rotation. I had the rookie year Braun. I have a rookie year Melo that I still have. And I had a TJ4 jersey that I borrowed from my friend that I just never gave back to him.
Gave back. Wow. You one of those.
All 03 draft class.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That was 03 draft class. And that was the look. But Jersey Shore is such a guilty pleasure for me because anytime I watch the show, I'm like, I grew up with all these
like you're
types of
home.
folks. Like I get these people, man. Like it's
Burgers
a
for the
bigger
boys.
community thing to yeah, for
That's
the
right.
boys.
Never again. Could I can't watch those shows. I can't connect to it.
You just watch people cooking steaks.
Yeah, because I like to cook steaks.
It's fucking fire.
So-
Y'all don't
so
get it, yo.
I can connect to that.
But you can't even eat it afterwards.
Right.
What you mean?
What
yeah,
happens
that's a
is
good point.
it might encourage me to plan
Don't
a
make a
nice
good
dinner
steak.
for myself and make a good steak. That's it. So that's
right.
yeah.
A
There's
nice
a
prime
connectability
cut.
to it. Yeah. What?
All right, I like to.
Yes.
I have another guilty pleasure, but a lot of people probably do this too. I
What's up?
like to get a little high and watch Animal Planet
Oh, okay.
for a very long time.
That's cool though. Like,
But that's why I know a lot of random facts about
That's not a
random
guilty
animals.
thing. That's something that's just like it's a pastime.
I think that's what Animal
Really
Planet was
interesting.
made for, though.
Just to get high and watch. And National Geographic
think
too,
about it.
right?
That's not what it
Think
was made
about
for,
it.
guys.
And National Geographic too.
South
Think
Park,
about it.
The dogs.
Do you
one.
really think scientists are like up watching like National Geographic, like Sports Center,
Probably, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
When you talk about
First off, I don't think scientists watch TV like that. I think scientists are out doing scientist shit.
Why they gotta be scientists? Are they scientists?
I mean, because that's what I'm feeling geologists and
they watch
zoologists and stuff. I feel like they're out doing zoology shit.
Any doctor or scientist or whatever, like they do study their craft, just like a Shannon Sharp or Stephen A. Smith. They're watching highlights. They're watching old shit. They're watching just the progression of an athlete. They're watching.
Can you imagine? All right, boom. We just came up with the fucking perfect idea for Animal Planet. We got to make a first take for Animal Planet, bro. We got to get two scientists.
Why don't we just do it?
We can just do it. Well, we're not smart enough. Like we gotta get two scientists.
Well, why don't we do it on our level? Because it would just be funny.
Tyson.
So
I don't think Tiger's supposed to do that. How would you know?
In this case, Rosie is the scientist, though.
He was like, the extinct elephants and pandas are going extinct everywhere.
Like, for
and you don't
example,
know what you're talking about, Skip.
Which one's blind? Which one's blind? The armadillo or a mole?
Which one's blind?
Hey, yo.
One is blind and one is colorblind.
I feel like
one is completely blind.
Is an armadillo colorblind?
That's the colorblind one.
See, I figured as much because they're usually underground, right? So they wouldn't really need to. They use tremors to kind of see how they go since they're.
Or it might be the other way around. I think the armadillo is colorblind. And the
what the
mole
fuck
is blind.
is this Animal Planet?
I don't know. You never know what you're gonna get from saying less, damn it.
But you never know what you run into. You run into an armadillo, you're like, that motherfucker can't see me, but all his senses are heightened.
When do you run into an armadillo in New York?
Yo, Eddin, I was just about to say that. I don't think I'm crossing any path with an armadillo. Like, where?
Do you know rats have no bones?
Yes, I do actually know that.
I
do know that.
No, they don't.
I'm gonna tell you why
Anywhere that their nose fits, their whole body fits.
I'm gonna tell you why I know rats have no bones. And it's gonna be something I've never told anybody. It's
what
probably
happened?
Pretty
you
gruesome.
dissected a rat?
No. Well, worse. Me and my brother, when we were, maybe 10 and 14 years old, there was a rat in our house, right? Just one rat, and we've been trying.
Kaz, I don't think I want to hear this story. Bro.
We were trying to get this rat for at least 3 weeks every day. This rat was terrorizing our family every day. So we finally got the mouse trap, caught the rat, and we were like, "Fuck, what are we gonna do with the rat?"
You skinned it.
Yo. So we put the rat. Remember those old schools? I don't think they sell them anymore because they're wildly unhealthy. But remember when like sodas used to come in like 3-liter bottles that were like massive and they had like a big hole and all that shit?
Right.
We put the mouse in the 3-liter bottle.
Wow. I just want to say things like this is what leads up to someone being a serial killer.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
So,
and that's how murderers and serial killers
and that's why.
But
it gets worse, guys. It gets worse.
It gets worse.
But that being said, instead he murders every morning, Monday through Friday, MSG AM. Yeah, I'm trying to save you, Kaz.
No,
it's a rat.
Shut up, Eddin. I want to hear. What else?
It's a rat, and the statute of limitations on killing rats has to be over 20 years. Okay?
Go ahead. What'd you do?
We're good.
There's no statute of limitations.
There's no statute of limitations. So if the rat community wants to come after me,
I see the headlines
now.
I
don't Master Splinter will.
I think rat murder.
I heard you were killing my people.
Fuck no. It's so fucking that I think about it. So we put the rat into this bottle.
Stitches.
And me and my brother went and got some baseball bats.
Some baseball bats?
Yo,
look. 3 weeks of having a rat around, I would probably do the same.
We had that mouse in our house for 3 weeks. No. It was terrorizing me, my mom, my brother. Let me tell you something. Everybody.
Do terrorize you. If they're in your house, they terrorize the fuck out of you. You just wake up and there's shit everywhere. You're like,
I would sneak downstairs. I would have to sneak downstairs to go get like a drink or food or whatever. As soon as I turn on the light, the fucking rat would run across the room, and it would be the same fucking rat. I'm like, fuck. So now I'm scared to go to the fridge to get a snack and drink.
Another question. How'd you know it was the same one?
Because once we took
They all look the same.
once we took care of our little rat problem, we didn't have any more rats coming back.
Bro, you couldn't have just let it. You couldn't have just let it out and just let it go.
I could have.
But he didn't. He wanted to be. He wanted to be that kid from Toy Story.
I had to send a message to the rest of the rats in the hood. Listen, they saw. They was like, damn.
I'm not gonna lie. One time,
like the blood was green and everything. It was bad.
That's fucked up. That's foul.
One time,
that's so fucked up.
I killed a roach in one of my apartments, like the big scary ones. And you know the roach powder? I outlined it like.
Yo, something wrong with y'all, man. Something wrong with y'all.
See, you grew up in a big, beautiful Jewish house in New Jersey. You don't know what we have to deal with these words.
I'm sorry. I mean,
I outlined it like a dead body, and I left it there for a night. And I was like, "This is a message."
Mentally, something wrong with y'all.
I outlined it with white powder, the white roach powder, and I left it in the hall.
First off, you should never have enough time on your hands to outline roach powder because you killed the roach.
It's not about time. It's about fuck y'all.
You gotta send a message. You gotta send a message to the rest of the crew. They're gonna smell. They're like, damn.
It's chitty chitty bang bang.
Where's our homie at?
Here.
Where'd he go? And then you go back and you're like, yo, son.
Bro, this is not.
We can go to a bunch of these houses, but this house right here, they be putting folks in bottles.
It's not a gang war.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's you clearly never lived in a house of rats, yo.
Look, it's gang over here.
It is war. It is war when you got a mouse in the house. Are you kidding me?
No, but what Kaz
terrorize you.
Somebody fucked me up with that, Kaz, because I had a mouse before and it was like terrorizing me. Like I'd wake up and it was I was like, where the fuck are you? Like he would chew on things. I'm like, I gotta get him. Right. So it became a game. And then I was like, yo, every morning I come and one day and I turn on the lights and I see him. And somebody was like, how do you know it's the same one? I was like, fuck. I was like, it could be more. It could be a little gang. I don't know how to identify them.
And that's why, Rosie, this is exactly why, right? If you take that one mouse and you get rid of it and set it free, you don't know if it's other mice. You don't know if it's that mouse that came back.
You're right.
You don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So in my 10-year-old and 14-year-old mind, I'm like, no.
They go back to the rat crew. They be like, hey, yo, y'all, this guy really let me go.
They be like, yo, son.
No, Kaz is like, I'm going to make sure it's not you. If I see another one, now I know it's gang in here.
So it's either, and after that, no more rat problem. Didn't see another rat in the house.
It's because you sent the message.
The rest of the rat gang that was hanging out there was like, yo, we can go to this house, and that house. That house right there.
I want both of y'all to realize that your problems are bigger than mices and roaches. I want y'all to understand that life is bigger than rodents taking over turf wars in your house. This is that's what I'm not saying.
I never saw a big roach in that apartment again.
Problems, but a mouse was not one after that shit.
This is why I'm watching and I'm listening and I'm observing. But there's some psychological shit going on with the both of y'all that y'all need to fix before the year 2021 hits, because we done dealt with a lot of bullshit. Listen, but this is the most craziest bullshit I done heard y'all talk about.
I never saw a big roach again in that apartment.
Have you ever seen? You're a big fan of Martin. You're a big fan of Martin, right? You see Martin? You seen when that damn puppy was terrorizing Martin and Gina for one day? For one day they terrorized them.
They were on an island.
And then beat his ass. Exactly. They were on and they beat his ass. I was getting terrorized by this rat for 3 weeks. 3 weeks I was getting terrorized by this rat.
I was terrorized by this roach on site for 2 seconds. I seen her.
You're not as tough as I thought you were, man.
Listen,
and Rosie, you have issues that need to be discussed.
Listen. That rat got what was coming to him, all right?
That's I wanted to do,
what was coming to him.
You know the outline when people be like this?
you know the crazy thing about this whole
That's
shit?
That's why I did it. I was like,
you know the crazy thing about this whole shit? Rosie outlining roaches. Kaz is beating rats up with bats. But George Zimmerman is still out there walking around. The streets is dead.
Wow.
The streets is dead.
Wow.
Y'all put all this effort to killing these mices and rodents, and that nigga George Zimmerman still out there? That's crazy.
I'm sorry, James Bond. If I could get George Zimmerman and put him in a bottle myself, I'm sure I would get the job done.
I'm sure, and I'll be there with the chalk. I'll be right there with the
If George
chalk.
Zimmerman was running in and out of my house for 3 weeks,
you get the bat, I get the chalk.
It wouldn't make it to 3 weeks, buddy. All right, he'd be gone today. He'd be gone that day. He'd be in the bottle that day.
Remind me of the little boy from
y'all
Butterfly
niggas are
Effect.
Crazy. Ooh, y'all niggas got some.
Remember when he took the dog and put him in a bag?
Wait, what?
Yeah, see, now we're going.
Oh, see, that's too much. See, that's too much.
Right,
No,
my bad.
that dog did nothing to nobody.
You remember?
All right?
You remember
if that dog was
bad.
terrorizing, no. That's not what was
That's
happening
not how
here.
Yeah, it's not. No. Animal rights is gonna be on us so crazy this episode.
It's a roach. I don't think they care about roach.
Exactly my point. It's a roach.
That's
Why are
fucking
you
flies.
outlining it? Why
It's
are you
a
outlining
water bug.
roach?
It flew. I ain't wanted to fly nowhere.
Nigga, you.
So
oh my
sports or
God.
music?
Oh
Sorry,
man!
guys.
All right, so yeah,
Outlining it,
the
bro.
NBA's back this week.
They went on this tangent. I didn't. They were reliving memories of they passed that. I don't got nothing to do with that
Traumas.
shit.
They're traumas. You have to talk about your traumas.
PTSD over here.
This
dude.
episode's gonna be called repressed memories.
PTSD.
I wouldn't
outta
do
here.
that. I wouldn't do that
No.
while we talk about statutory rape. Maybe leave that
Oh
out.
shit.
Wow, that got dark.
Wow.
Way to take it. Way to take
Damn.
it there, Jake. My goodness.
Title.
Nice to know that your ability to run us right into a brick wall.
Hey,
Jake is
It
so good
still
at
works
that.
digitally. Still works
Right.
Jake is
digitally.
so good at that.
Bring us right down.
All right, the NBA's back this week. Man, lots to talk about. Long off season, not really. Short off season, but
I'm about to say, nigga, that shit was like 2 months.
yeah, I was about to say I'm super tripping. But
I'm not mad.
yo, the one story that I feel like we should talk about was this preseason game. And there's a lot of talk about the Brooklyn Nets this year and Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and all that type of stuff. And Kyrie Irving, for the first time, returned to Boston. Now, mind you, the Nets played Boston a bunch of times last year, but Kyrie never played. Kyrie didn't even travel when the Nets went to go play the Boston Celtics. So the first time that Kyrie was back in the TD Bank Garden in Boston, there's video of him saging the arena of bad vibes, bad juju.
What is my sage?
A lot of people had some things to say about this and thought it was corny and weird and Kyrie doing too much and all this type of stuff. But I actually thought it was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed it. Lo, you've been to my house. I'm a sager. I will sage the crib up. You know what I mean?
I think Kyrie got himself a little girlfriend that does like reads cards and crystals. And
he was with
sages the
Kalani
house
for a little
like
bit.
clean.
Kalani might.
You know, so he got his mind right.
But that wasn't his house. That wasn't his house. That was.
Well, it's his energy. He's there, and there's no fans.
So that means he's bringing bad energy into Boston.
No, he don't know what y'all motherfuckers been doing during this COVID. He's like, hold on.
The negative energy or cleansing the energy, I think was.
What energy was he cleansing?
The energy that was there when he got there.
He was in Boston for a long time, and if y'all remember, he had a big off-season announcement where he was saying, listen, Boston, if y'all have me, I'd love to spend the rest of my career here. And then a year later, he was out. You know what I mean? And I'm sure the people in Boston didn't have nice things to say about him, or they probably wished terrible on him. And, just as a professional, it didn't end the way that it should have. I mean, that was a loaded squad. A lot of people believe the Boston Celtics were going to go pretty far. So in any way you look at it, Kyrie's tenure in Boston was a failure. Right, whether it was the injury, whether it was team, whether it was whatever the hell it was, it just didn't work. So him bringing the sage and saging the place up and cleaning the bad spirits and the energy. Phil Jackson used to do that shit all the time, right? Like Phil Jackson was big on energy and saging, and that it seemed to work for him. So I just think
He said he plans to do it before.
Kyrie looks like a person that holds no accountability for the bullshit he brung to a situation.
Wow.
All right, so explain that to me, because I have thoughts.
A lot
on
of people
Kyrie.
feel that way.
So I'm
And
not
a
the
lot
only
of
one
people,
that
and a
felt.
lot of people think how you think, but I want to hear what your thoughts are.
No, it just seems like he's always trying to play the victim in this situation. It seems like it's always him on the defense of, trying to defend himself and trying to make himself look like, it wasn't me, it was them, and I bring in the sage and I want to get all the bad energy. But it's just like, did you hold yourself accountable for the shit that you said or shit that you did or things that you were, articulating in the media? Did you come up and say like, yo, you know what, I was bugging this day, or maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I should have had a conversation one-on-one with somebody? Like, did you take any accountability with anything that was going on?
We don't know what he did. And we don't know where he's at with it right now.
Well, yeah, but the Sage thing to me, it just seems like a troll. That seems like a troll to me. That seems like a troll to me.
Oh, it could have been like a joke. You're saying like, let me cleanse the air because you guys are so bad in here.
Right? I'm like, huh? What is
it?
I'm not gonna.
He said he plans to do it before all games if the opposing team will allow it. That's what he said. Like,
so that's his new thing. Yeah, his little stage phase. That's it.
So if anybody's seeing like Kyrie on Instagram lately, like,
you gotta stay in the media. You gotta stay in the
media. He will be in his sitting, cross legs and lighting sage, lighting incense, zenning out and stuff like that. He's very into discovering his inner peace and all that type of stuff, right? Which
third act.
Listen,
that's fine. Yeah, that's
whoever's
fine.
journey that they're going on, I get that.
Of course.
But one thing that bothers me about the Kyrie thing, though, is a lot of folks seem to really like judge him for that, right? Like, there's so many things that we want our athletes to be, right? We want our athletes to be thoughtful, give, honest answers, and, be more than basketball and think of all this other stuff. Nobody has been more than basketball. I mean, there's definitely plenty of people, LeBron being one of them, but Kyrie always keeps basketball in like proper perspective. Mm-hmm. Like, he's always been like, you know what, this is a game, whatever, but like, at the end of the day, there's more to it and all this type of stuff, which you want your athletes to be like. On top of that, he always speaks his mind. Like, he'll even if you don't really agree with him, he said what he said about LeBron, not or first time having somebody clutch to shoot with, and like LeBron took that away, and there was a time where he was talking about he won't be distracted by pawns, talking about the NBA season and not doing media. Do you like that quote, Jake? Disrespect me to my face. To my face, Jake. I love it. And I was one of those. I was in those group of people for a while that was just like, man, Kyrie's so annoying. What is he doing? But now, I don't know if it's fuck with it. I don't know if it's the love of chaos in me, but
see, that's the thing that I always disagree with you when you say that.
Why?
Like when you always. You do this a lot when it comes to certain things. You be like, yeah, chaos. Yeah, yes. Chaos. Yes. And I'm just like, for fucking what?
Here's the thing.
There's like,
because
the chaos initiated already.
The only way to expose hypocrisy is through chaos. Most of the time, 90% of the time, the only way to expose true hypocrisy in a lot of things is through chaos. And the way that not just the media, but fans and people who just don't like the dude respond to Kyrie makes me like him even more now. Now I'm just like, anything this dude does, people are going to poke at and find something to be upset about. And whether it's what he said in the press or him saging the gym or doing IG lives with Kevin Durant instead of talking to the media, and just everything. Like, it's really funny because, media members, and I guess I'm part of the media now when it comes to that type of stuff. So I really can't get my Nets takes off like I can here. But when it comes to a guy like Kyrie and most superstars in general, we always have this assumption that we know how people look at him as a player or as a talent, or just celebrity in general. Celebrity in general. We always think we know how people look at them, right? But like, you ask anybody who's around him, any of his teammates, any of his old teammates, they're always like, oh, I love the dude. Great guy to be around. You know what I'm saying?
Before the game? He was like, did you see before the game? He was like doing like long embraces with all his old teammates.
Yeah,
like,
that was the first time he's seen a lot of them. You know what I mean? And it seemed genuine. And granted, yes, there's a lot of cameras around. Maybe a lot of that stuff is fluffed up so people would stop talking about it. But at the end of the day, there's always this big wall of what's really going on between players, media, and like the real shit. Like there's players here, there's media here, and there's this little sliver in between of what really goes on with these people.
Which really 90% of the time we never will have complete full intel on. So it's almost like you picking a side.
And that's the thing, and that's what makes it funny to me, and that's why I love exposing the hypocrisy, and that's why I love chaos, because when we try to, we're like, oh no, not like that. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
All right, so Kyrie, the LeBron quote, right?
Right.
Said what he said with KD on KD's podcast, and initially it was, I can't believe he would say that. He played with LeBron James, whatever, and like yada, yada, yada. And I can understand why people can feel a way about that. But we can't continue to punish athletes for speaking their mind and speaking their truth and feeling how they feel, whether it be right or wrong. That's what we want. And that's why certain athletes turn the pull away, because they give you something. And for the next 3-4 months, that's all they're hearing about. So like a lot of times I'm like, okay, I can understand. Like even when he put out that statement saying like, I'm going to talk to the media for certain times, whatever. I don't want to be distracted by I feel him. And I felt that. I mean, pay your fine, obviously, like do what you got to do, because you signed a contract in your contract, like you're legally obligated to do all these media sessions, whatever. So if you're not going to do that, and if you're down to pay 20 racks every time you don't do it, cool. But I'm kind of off the train of starting to judge certain athletes and players because of however they carry themselves and things they say, because of how we perceive them. When more than half the time, it's not even really true. Like it may even be a quarter of the truth. But I don't know. That was my thoughts. I thought the Sage was cool. I love me some Sage. I'm more of a Palo Alto myself.
I was about to say, was it some Palo Santo? Was it
Palo
Sage?
Santo? My fault. I said Palo Alto, like California.
It's okay. But I wanted to know what it was, but I think it was Sage.
No, it was real Sage. Like he had the ball and shit. He was.
I don't know. I just
Sage
think,
smells funky though.
I get it. Kyrie is taking the narrative in his own hands, but something just smells funky about it.
Why can't? Maybe he's just going through a journey.
Listen,
everybody goes through their own journeys.
This is the thing. If y'all gonna do this shit, if you're gonna do your Sages and you're gonna do your podcast, you're gonna do your Zoom calls and put it out there and this, that, and the third, don't get upset when people meet you with like resistance or meet you with opinion. Right. Like if you're gonna do it, understand that it's gonna get met. It's gonna get met with something. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying, these niggas are acting now and they're trying to just get attention. But if you're gonna go to these extremes and doing all these things, understand I'm going to come back with an opinion. You're doing it for that reason. If you wanted to do shit by yourself and keep shit personal, you wouldn't be doing no podcast. You wouldn't be having no Sage in the empty arena knowing that there's cameras around. You wouldn't be doing none of this shit. You would do it on your own terms where you don't have to be criticized. But if he really wanted
to Sage that arena, there's no other time to do it.
I understand that, and that's fine. Or he could have someone else do it for him.
It's not the same.
All right, and that's cool, and I get it.
It's not the same, yeah.
I know, and I get it. All I'm saying is, don't be surprised when you're met with resistance on your actions. That's it. I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong.
I'm not saying, but he might not be surprised. He might not give a fuck.
No, I'm talking about like the conversations. I'm talking about the conversations people have. I'm not talking about him specifically. Like people be like, when he does stuff real and he does. I'm just saying, all right, cool. He made a move or he did this. All right, here's my opinion on it. And I'm not calling him right or wrong. I'm like, maybe I'd have done it differently, but I'm not in his shoes. But a lot of the things that we comment on, we're not in these niggas' shoes. From the court action, from how they deal with their mistresses, or how they deal with their finances. I'd have did this and I'd have did that. Like, nigga, you ain't.
Well, that took a left.
No, I'm just saying, like, but it's an overall perspective. We have a comment about every little thing, but we'll say, man, me worth $20 million, I wouldn't have went to Magic City during the pandemic, like that type of dumb shit.
Yes, you would have.
No, I mean I wouldn't have, but I'm not.
I'm not saying like how. All right, so boom. Here's another story. We talked about Lemon Pepper Lou Will when that happened. James Harden. There was a story that came out a couple days ago where they pretty much explained what Harden's sort of routine was in Houston and how the Houston franchise sort of like enabled it, right? Like pretty much whatever James Harden wants, they got, right? So on some from basically saying if they had 2 days off, then James Harden was gonna fly somewhere, he was gonna party, he was gonna, live some rock star lifestyle. And people just were cool with it because he would come back and drop a 50-point triple-double. That was a direct quote, right?
And niggas still would lose.
And they would lose, but hey, that was.
But he was
their best shot. And if they
Right.
were losing, granted, they were either winning with him or they were losing with him, and they won a lot. They didn't get to the chip, they didn't get to the conference finals, but all the success that franchise had was due solely to him, right? Right. So they were in a position to do what you do with star players. You want to keep your star player happy. Whatever you want, James, you got it. You want to play, you want to go fly somewhere, you want to go to Atlanta, you want to kick it with Lil Baby, you want to do all this type of stuff, whatever. Cool. And everybody has something to say about it. And immediately, I'm like, this is what franchises do. When it's time to trade a player that may not be as desirable anymore, they're gonna put out smear stories or say, oh, this is what you're getting when you deal with them, all this type of stuff. It's a thing that franchises do all the time. Like if you hear somebody about to get traded and they have a hard, big ass contract, and the power struggle between a franchise player and the front office is happening, they're gonna use the media to try and help their case. My thing is, James Harden is 30 years old. To my knowledge, not married. To my knowledge, doesn't have kids. Mm-hmm. You're really telling he makes $200 million. Damn. A $200 million bachelor to just go to work and go home.
Shit.
You're telling a $200 million bachelor
I play basketball in my yard.
who won an MVP to go to work and go home. Okay. I don't even make a quarter of that. And if I had to, I'm sitting here thinking like maybe I should go to Atlanta, and I don't even make a quarter of that. Right?
Okay, so here's the other side of the pillow.
And you're telling a bachelor, I'm in a whole ass relationship, and I'm still like, man, baby, I gotta go kick with my homies. I gotta go do something.
This is the yin and the yang between me and Kaz, right? So okay, I hear it, I get it, and I respect it. So all the parameters you just list out, man is a single. Man makes $200 million. Man shows up, drops 50 points, triple double, just down the third.
MVP, but man, don't forget that.
MVP. Man is also supposed to be the franchise player, right? That's the franchise player. So when the franchise player is not producing the results a franchise needs, there's going to be pushback. There's going to be a clouded conversation. Like, what the fuck is going on? We've given you all this free reign to do all this shit and giving you all this money. And we're paying you the max because we believe you can take this franchise to the top of the top, which is an NBA championship. And you have not done that. You have not even gotten us to a conference finals.
Well, he can't do it alone.
They didn't make it to the conference final, but they didn't win. But I'll tell you this, right. What did happen was, correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, 4 out of the last 6 years, they were eliminated in the playoffs by the eventual NBA champions, right? Or the eventual conference champions. So they ran into the Super Warriors where they had KD and everybody. They ran into the Golden State Warriors where, granted, they didn't have KD, but they were still very fucking good. They ran into the Lakers last year. You know what I mean? Like, they're running into incredible teams, like all-time great teams. And
so then the blame should be shifted to the front office and off of Harden. Then.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
If that's the stat you're giving me, if that's the stat that lives.
But like,
my thing is, it can't all be, we pay you to be the franchise player and lead us to a championship or whatever, right?
They built the whole team around him.
Right. Understood.
Like,
my thing is, all right, so what's the problem? Who's the problem?
The problem is once it gets to a point where they're all
he gets tired.
Choking.
So you guys are saying
I would be tired if I was flying back and forth to Vegas too.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's that his usage rate is through the roof. Like you watch Rockets games, it's James Harden dribbling a million times, step backs or threes or whatever. Like everything they do through him. He's going to get tired, right? At some point, you see James Harden, who was down to come back to Houston and give it another go and be like, all right, we're gonna get rid of Westbrook or whatever, but like we gotta figure something out. This opportunity comes with Brooklyn and Philly with Daryl Morey, the guy who had everything to do with making James Harden a superstar as anybody did, right? Daryl Morey. When he came from Oklahoma City, Daryl Morey was the guy that's like, we're going to get this guy. He was coming off the bench for Oklahoma City. He was the third best player on the team. He was probably the second best player on the team, depending on what kind of night Russell Westbrook was having. But he was the guy like, that guy's going to be my franchise player. And as soon as he put on a Houston uniform, he was exactly that. So I can understand him wanting to go and play for a guy like Daryl Morey in Philly. Gotcha. I can understand him wanting to go to Brooklyn, team up with KD and Kyrie. Like, listen, I done ran into the Warriors, the Lakers, these super teams so many times. I'm going to go get my own super team so I can get a ring. I can understand that.
That would be a sick team. That would be a sick team.
I'm sure it would. I don't know how possible it is, but I'm sure it would.
That's possible.
I figure with my luck, as soon as we hang up the phone, they're gonna be like, a trade has been announced.
You want the Mavs? No chance. They're like, do you want James Harden? The Mavs with Luka, they said like, do you want Harden? Like, can you make a trade?
So
for Harden?
I'm hearing a handful of teams. I'm hearing Dallas.
They said
I'm hearing Golden State.
They said no. Thanks, Jake.
Hearing Philly
and the Clippers are some of the teams that haven't been announced, but have made. And like I've said, I have said this since day one from the James Harden trade announcements. I'm like, you want some real deal chaos? Trade James Harden for Paul George straight up.
And that worked. That's not an equal trade.
You give the Rockets an extra pick. He just signed the Supermax deal, so the contracts match up. You know what I mean?
Houston's losing a lot if you just get Paul.
The Rockets got Christian Wood, Boogie Cousins looks good, John Wall looks good. You put Paul George in that team, that's still a very, very good team.
I'm just gonna say this though. Hold on.
It's not as good as Harden. It's not as good as Harden.
I'm gonna say one thing though. If the world was open, that'd be the worst team ever. All of them together.
Oh, in Houston?
James Harden, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, PJ Tucker. Like, what? That's the whole club.
Basically, I said, shut every strip. The strip club stimulus. That's what we're going to call Houston.
My thing is, like, I feel like they could do whatever they want as long as they perform. I've never seen a problem with that.
Same.
It's the motherfuckers that show up that look hungover that can't play.
But my point is, if you're being tagged a franchise player and you're not performing to the franchise, standard.
But did he have help?
He did.
Again,
so
he's had help.
So he showed up. He did what he had to do. What else can he do? What else do you want from him?
My thing is maybe
if he underperformed after a night out, I get it. But he wasn't doing that.
I've always been team like, do what you got to do to get yourself right. There's certain folks that need to be zened and do sage before the game to ball out. There's some people who need ass and titties to be focused on the game.
But it's just not the ass and titties. It's just not the ass and titties. It's the way. It's the
narrative.
It's the
I hate that the narrative has become, because this guy's out partying with Lil Baby and being at the strip club all the time, he's not balling. I'm like, dude, he was balling doing that.
He'll show up still.
Like, what else is a multi-$100 million
business? Niggas stay off of fucking social media.
I believe he stays off. I think other people don't stay off.
Other people post him.
I don't think he don't be there like.
That nigga was in Vegas giving out 100 honey buns, 100 racks, a fucking Richard Millie, and they got the cameras in this nigga's face. Nigga, stay low key and get the fuck out of Dodge, bro.
It's James Harden. How is he gonna stay low key ever?
He's a very recognizable
very
dude.
noticeable guy.
You can put yourself in situations not to be recognized. We've all done it.
He can't even hide his beard,
when niggas
bro.
want to move low, we know how to move low. Niggas ain't. You got all the money in the world. You know how to move
How
low.
tall is he?
It's very
He's not
easy.
low.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's 6'7". Like it's not. It's very easy for us to point the finger and be like, you should stop doing what you're doing because it's making you the optics look bad.
Fake James Harden. I think that's James Harden.
It's not pointing the finger. It's us observing a situation that is in plain sight. I'm not prying into this nigga's life. I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong. I'm saying, oh, okay, like maybe this would work if he did that. You gonna still do what you gonna do regardless. You still gonna do what you want to do, my nigga.
People like you, Lois. People like you. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Why we have?
Leave him alone.
Why we see?
As long as he shows up.
This is the oxymoron shit about these entire shows. These round tables, these talks, this and a third. When niggas give an opinion and say you shouldn't do that or you should do this, everybody was like,
it's
well,
people like you, Lo.
It's his life. It's people like you.
I think it's oxymoronic because the same stuff that we're telling him not to do is what got him to the point where he's worth $200 million and an MVP.
And he never stopped doing this shit.
It's never stopped him. And some people function differently.
He's been doing
a lot of people do not get rings. A lot of people could not beat the Lakers. A lot of people could not beat the Warriors.
That's going to be the asterisk on your fucking career. That's going to be the asterisk. All right, yo, you're a great player. Charles Barkley was a great player. Karl Malone was Patrick Ewing, great player. Cool. Still ain't get no fucking ring.
Ring culture is bullshit, by the way. Let me tell you
this. It is, but you ain't.
James Harden could never win a ring in his entire life. He'll still go down as one of the greatest to ever touch a basketball, ever.
And that's
when
fine.
It comes to bucket getting, wait, what, Jay? What?
I said not top 20 all time. Not in terms of bucket getting, just all time players.
When it comes to getting a bucket, he is at the minimum top 10 right now.
And you know what?
At the minimum.
We're glad he accomplished that feat in his career, but we would like to see a player like him who's getting the max amount of money out of his contract to win a fucking ring. I believe he has a gold medal too, right?
At what point, yeah, he's got a gold medal. At what point do we put the onus on the front office though to be like, hey,
no, and I said that.
You shouldn't have rolled out a team with no center. You shouldn't have traded the house for Russell Westbrook knowing he's a high usage guy who's going to need the ball and pair him with another high usage guy who needs the ball. At some point, you're like, hey, maybe if Chris Paul wasn't hurt, they beat that Warriors team. Like Chris Paul was dogging them that year. He got hurt at a crucial game. At some point, it's bad. It's a bad luck. Mix it front office. If I'm a GM if I own the team, I'm never gonna blame the dude who's doing the most on the court to get me to where I am.
I'm not solely blaming James Harden. This is not me dumping everything on James Harden. I'm just saying that there are some parts of this situation that James Harden can take responsibility for. And I think when you're a player at his level trying to get to the top of the top, some things you might have to switch up. Yeah, that's cool. It works. You know, you go to Vegas, you feed your vices and this, that, and the third. But maybe if at times during the regular season or the playoffs, you laid back off of that and your body's how much usage your body's going to go into during these fucking games. Maybe if you reserve some more energy from the wear and tear of the traveling and the wear and tear of doing all these things, maybe that 30-40% of energy that you gave off could be used on the court. Now, I'm not saying I'm not an athlete, so I'm just going off of like what I see and how I understand shit. I don't know the physical wear and tear.
But we just said he shows up still and
I understand that, but there's always you can still do more. You can still be better.
Jake, hold on. Jake's hand is up.
That's all I'm saying.
Jake?
I just want my issue is nothing to do with the Vegas and clubs. Like with James Harden specifically, I feel like he cares about individual accolades and metrics a lot. Like he went into last year like saying, I want to win MVP. I want to do XYZ. So I feel like he puts a lot. Like he was averaging 36 a game before the pandemic. Like that's a lot of points, and they were winning games. Like
that's
I don't have
a lot
any
of usage on your body. That's a lot of usage.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
Like if you look at LeBron, like LeBron doesn't give a fuck about the regular season. He uses it as like a warm up for the playoffs. Like I just wish James Harden looked at it a little more like
and maybe I'm phrasing it wrong, but like if he just looked at it a little bit differently, I think the number of points 36 will go down to like maybe 30 or 25 or 28. And then he could divulge that shit into rebounds and assists and all that other shit. Maybe like if you just put the energy somewhere else, things might end up a little bit different. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it.
I'm saying, what if he did originally have that mindset for years, right? How long
we don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
But what if he did have that mindset and then he was just kind of like, fuck it, like I can't do it with the team I got. I'm gonna just go for me and mine and like see if they want to help.
Hey,
he didn't play well in the 2012 finals, right, Cass? Right? He didn't hoop out for like against the Heat or anything. I don't think he played well. Harden, didn't he disappear in that series?
In the finals?
Against the Heat? Yeah,
if I remember him and it was Westbrook who really balled out. I think Harden and KD didn't play that well. But again, this is years ago. This is like, you know, they were ahead of schedule. Like when they got there, it was almost like, wow, I can't believe these 3 great players, all under the age of like 23, made it to the finals. They're gonna dominate for the next 10 years, and then fucking Harden leaves, and you know, Westbrook and KD, like it's crazy how that whole turned out. Like, man, lots of strong feelings on Harden and Kyrie Irving. I feel like if those
it's not strong feelings, these are the topics of discussion. It's not like, nigga, I don't wake up thinking about like, yo, Kyrie staging the fucking Boston arena. I don't give a fuck. But like, these are the conversations that they are putting us in place to have.
I know.
And we have to, and that's it. That's
those
all.
three, if Harden, Kyrie, and KD all end up on the same team, New York is literally the only place it could happen. For the amount of shit the amount of headlines, the amount of things that would be talked about, the amount of like, man, if any city needs a nightlife stimulus, it's New York. And James Harden and KD being back.
I see them bumping heads, though. I see them bumping heads.
Batting down the hatches that last lap.
I see them bumping heads, though, man. I see them bumping heads.
Oh man, I don't even know what's still open right now. I drove through New York yesterday for the first time.
Last lap is definitely open.
I know last lap is open.
Sahara East is open. That's about it.
Gosh, what's open anymore? What's
nothing?
I literally just said that.
We're in phase 2?
Are we?
Is it 2?
Allegedly, we went back to only takeout and delivery, and that's phase 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like First Ave is kind of like actually.
Like
I
don't mind because it's
like
fucking cold.
If I'm James Harden, the first thing I'm doing if I get traded to Brooklyn is buying the old Griffin and turning that into his own personal. There you go.
They bought that shit already.
There's gonna be people like once this is over. There's gonna be so many rich folks coming here.
You are feeding into what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, there's gonna be so many rich folks that are gonna invest into these buildings. They're gonna rebuild nightlife through the people who live it. Like you're gonna go down 28th Street, fucking Marquee, and God, what else is over there on the
Scores?
On 28th, it's just Marquee on 28th.
Yeah, it's just 28th.
But if you go down 14th, if you go to Meatpacking where you got Tao, PhD,
up and
what
down.
else? That's where Griffin used to be. Up and
Dream
down.
Hotel.
Right. I mean, that's gonna be the next. That's gonna be the
One
next gold rush,
One
man.
Oak. One Oak and Avenue.
Hotel, yeah.
Is One Oak open? One Oak's
take
not
that
open.
little block.
Nah,
no, but I'm saying like you take that little block because you know you can walk from Tao to Avenue and all that.
You got Budokan, you got Catch Steakhouse, you got Catch Steak New York.
Shout out to Catch.
Yeah, all that shit is over there.
So
that's
if
what
you
I'm
do
saying,
all
man.
that,
If I'm James Harden, bro, like if I move to Brooklyn, buy the fucking like everybody knows you like King Party Animal already. First thing I'm doing, taking
King Party Animal with no rings.
Take 20 mil here. Reinvest this into the nightlife. As soon as the vaccine goes out by next year, I'll make all my money back quadruple times, my G. Like people will be fiending.
Then they're gonna be spending his money on them bitches.
Man, you know what? Rings is overrated, bro. I'm gonna keep it a fucking bean. Rings are overrated. Rings are overrated. If you wave a magic wand to me, all right, boom. Put like this. All right, I'm a genie. I'm a genie, Lowkey. I'm a genie. Okay. I'm a genie, right? I'm gonna grant you wish. I'm gonna grant you and Rosy wishes. All right. I want both answers from you guys to be, honest to what you think. I'm a genie. And you can have 2 careers. You can only pick one of the 2. Robert Horry or James Harden?
How many rings
Whose
Robert Horry
career
got?
are you picking? Robert Horry got at least seven. Seven, all right? Seven championship rings. This is your life now. You can be Robert Horry with you got 7 rings. More than Jordan. 7 rings.
Thank you.
How old
Or
is he?
have James Harden's career.
7.
How old is he?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
How old is Robert Horry?
6.
He's got to be 50 or something, right? He's up there.
And that nigga's set for life.
Yeah, he's 50 on the money. Yeah, nice.
Is he?
50 on the money.
Is Robert Horry set for life, Lo, with his 7 championship rings? Is he set for life? Do you know that for sure?
I'm gonna be James Harden. I'm gonna be James Harden.
Thank you. Do you know that for sure? Because you know who I know who is set for life? James fucking Harden is set
and the way James Harden lives his life, he could easily blow that.
Would you rather
be all the sponsors and endorsements? Think about everything else he got in his bag.
Bro.
Just from being James Harden.
Robert Horry could be down bad with one bad trip to Vegas. He could be down bad with one bad trip to Abu Dhabi.
And nobody's going to put him on nothing. Nothing. He's not going to be a face of shit.
James Harden?
James Harden could be the face of
I get it. Y'all like to
That's
dribble.
why I say rings are overrated, bro.
Y'all like to shoot threes. Y'all like to give rappers gifts. Y'all like to, braid your hair. You like to braid your hair when you don't have enough hair.
Bro, I just think ring culture is overrated.
God. See, this is why I can't.
I just think ring culture is overrated, bro. I just think we put so much stock into these championship rings.
I grew up in the basketball era where having an MVP or averaging the most points wasn't the most important thing.
Just say you don't. Just say he's not your favorite. You don't like him. You don't like him.
I fuck with James Harden. I never said
he flew your bitch out or something.
Nah, ain't nobody fly.
Is this personal?
If he flew my bitch out, that wasn't my bitch. So let's just keep it like that.
She got flew out or something.
If you can fly my bitch out, that ain't my bitch. Like that's another conversation.
That's the cover of this should be you and Harden. That picture you have.
All I'm saying is. The main goal when I was watching basketball coming up as a kid was to get that fucking trophy, to get that fucking ring. The MVP was not.
I think everything.
Listen.
Lo, I hear you. I hear you.
You're not hearing me because I'm not finished.
I do hear you. I do hear you. There's a lot of people who got those rings, right?
Right.
There's a lot of people on Michael Jordan's team. Even his best teammate, Scottie Pippen. Do you want Scottie Pippen's life right now, Lo? Or do you want Charles Barkley's life? Who has 0 fucking rings, who is as relevant as ever, still super fucking paid, still gets sneakers put out every year on TNT, is the man over there. Scottie Pippen, 6 rings. Got his wife out here looking crazy.
Them jeans. Was wearing
would you want Scottie Pippen's life over Charles Barkley's life?
Well, Scottie Pippen made some very bad decisions.
Just off the jeans that Pippen was wearing in the Last Dance.
There's nobody on, except for Michael Jordan, that I would switch lives with Charles Barkley other than Steve Kerr. And he was the role player.
I don't know. Shaq?
No, I mean on those Bulls teams. On those Bulls teams.
Okay, I thought we were talking about that time frame. I'm like, Shaq.
But Shaq got everything.
You know what?
Shaq got the rings.
This world
Shaq
has
got
turned
the franchise. Shaq got everything. Like he's James Harden with the rings. He was rapping. He was doing movies. He did all that shit. And then one day he was like, you know what? I got to go to LA and win some championships.
First off, he's not James Harden without the rings. No, he's not. James Harden is not invested into fucking.
Shaq isn't James Harden with the rings?
No,
he's not that old yet, though. He's not that old yet. James Harden.
That's what I'm saying.
I know what James Harden's going to do.
We gotta look at time frames. We have this already finished.
Mogul. Shaq is
exactly. We have this already finished. We have this already finished painting of Shaq already. Shaq's damn near 50. We've seen him since he was in Blue Chips. Motherfucker had a bunch of rap videos. Did songs with Big, put albums out, dancing, doing with the Jabberwockies, all this type of shit. Then he moved to LA, got his chips, was still partying, was still getting it in, you know what I mean? But the only difference between James Harden and Shaq's accomplishments was that Shaq got rings eventually. And who knows what James Harden can go through eventually. Who knows in 5 or 10 years he invests in the Papa Johns of that era, or he invests in the what does it call it? Go to the general and save some time. Whatever that fuck is. The car insurance shit. Like, who knows if he invested in that shit? Like, we already have this finished painting of Shaq, and that's why I think it's so hard.
James Harden has his sneaker deal, and James Harden has invested in the nightlife of Vegas, so we got to give him that. And he
also got body armor.
And Houston, oh yeah, his body armor, yeah. He's invested into the nightlife of Houston by giving these strippers, money, income every year. I respect it, my nigga. I respect it.
Jesus
I respect it. I respect it.
All right, there will be no more
saying
James Harden slander.
It's not slander. It's observation. Because I'm not sucking this nigga dick. It's slander. I'm telling you what I see.
Whoa! Now we sucking dick.
Now we're sucking dick.
We suck his dick for pointing out obvious observations.
I'm just observing what I see about James Harden. Cool. Yo, James Harden.
It just sounds very.
No, it's
he
not.
He flew this bitch out. He flew this. James Harden took a bitch from you.
Again, no one's taking any bitch from me. If you take a bitch from me, she wasn't my bitch.
I'm just saying. Because this sounds personal.
I respect James Harden as a basketball player. I respect James Harden as a basketball player. That man's the nigga's nice as fuck. Like that's not.
But go ahead, there's a but's coming.
But I think there's just certain things that don't allow him to be who he really should be. And I've said those things, and that's fine. If y'all don't agree, if y'all don't agree, that's fine. But he still don't got a ring. He still hasn't been to one NBA Finals, and it's like one. Okay, one. Okay, one. That's great. One. And lost.
Well, how many have you been in love?
Well, I'm not an athlete, so
leave him alone.
All I'm saying is,
I sold out the Barclays if that goes for anything.
Oh, that's
all I'm saying is, it gets weird. It gets weird when star players ask to be traded, especially one who's so tied in to their franchise like James Harden.
Jamal.
Like Jamal.
It's not weird. Like that nigga wants to be in a position to win a fucking championship.
No, it gets weird. Like Jamal Adams, yeah, Jamal Adams, he made the right choice.
Let him go.
We got to get him on the show too. By the way, I know he fucks with the show. Shout out Jamal Adams. It gets weird when franchise players ask to be traded because there's a power struggle. Like we live in the player empowerment era where if a player as powerful as James Harden asks to be traded, things have to happen because they've seen what's happened. We've seen the worst part of it, right? I think the worst part.
They're not fulfilling that ego like they used to. All
right, so here's my point. Here's here's the big bang. If I'm
bugging, Kaz, you can tell me if I'm bugging or not. But
no. After I finish my point, then I think we can.
Okay.
The big bang of the player empowerment era was the decision, right? Like when LeBron left Cleveland, it was not just bad for Cleveland because they needed him as a basketball player. Yeah. But like they were wrecked afterwards, like economy wise, the team, the owner.
Talking about Cleveland?
Like Cleveland, yeah, all that. And then we saw everything he brought to Miami. You know what I mean? The same things people were talking about. We're talking about James Harden now. People were saying about LeBron James back then. Oh, he can't do it by himself. He's got to go and join these people. And
it was way worse. LeBron got way worse.
Well, LeBron got it the worst.
Of course, LeBron got it the worst.
Nobody got it worse than LeBron.
And they said, I think it was like, I think Mav and Chris and them said they wouldn't have done that. I think, they feel like
the way they did it. If you've seen the story on ESPN, they had like an hour special. They were like, looking back at it, they would have did it a different way. You know what I mean? Like they still would have went to Miami. But they would have did it in a way that wasn't as right in the heart.
It was like an asshole's way to
But it did raise money for charity. Like it was for charity.
Yeah, but the way you charity,
but there was.
But the way you turn your nose up to Cleveland like that is like in front of the world.
But that's the thing. The reason why I call it the big bang of the player empowerment era is because from that day forward, every athlete knew not to do that. Right. Every athlete knew either not to do that or to put. They learned so much from that experiment that they knew that any message that they got to put out has to be in their own hands, which helps launch.
Which is why like the whole
Uninterrupted, the Players Tribunes, like when athletes got something to say now. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think LeBron launched his Twitter account that week. You know what I'm saying? So it started a whole all right, athletes got something to say. They could go on Twitter and let it be known. They could go on Uninterrupted and let it be known. Players Tribune and let it be known, and not necessarily put their narrative in the hands of
an ESPN, Sports Illustrated. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Where it just took off and they were just wrecked. Like, you know, as far as like reputation wise, where like for a year, for like that first year, LeBron was like, if you watch them play,
the most
he was
hated
like
person.
This weird, like, yeah, like they almost tried to make him like a villain. And I think LeBron kind of tried, I think he even said like he tried to like play into it and stuff. And it just wasn't. Like there was no joy.
But even when they did the LA deal, they just posted the contract. It was like, yeah, it's done.
And like you couldn't have done it any better because LeBron went back to Cleveland, made it right, got them their only championship. Right. And I don't think if anybody in Cleveland was surprised that LeBron left after, you know, J.R. Smith, you know, did screw them on that one play against the Golden State Warriors, like I got a bridge in fucking Nebraska to sell you some lakefront property or whatever. Like, there's no way.
It's like, yo, I gotta go. Like, I gotta go.
No way anyone could be surprised or judge him for leaving after that.
I'm like, yeah, my nigga, I'd have left right after that game. I'd have been gone right after that game.
I feel like a lot of people thought like these were like the best of LeBron's years were behind him after that. Anyways, like, oh, he's gonna go move to LA, raise his kids, whatever, and not be a threat anymore. And boy, were they wrong.
Man, let me tell you something. The JR memes that came out after that.
Poor JR,
you gotta watch the episode that it's Kevin Hart's Cold as Ball shit on YouTube, and he interviews J.R. Smith. And he talks about the whole situation about him not understanding, like, you know, if they had the lead or not. But I mean, obviously he had a good spirit about it, but just like hearing him talk about it is like, yeah, you fucked up. Like, he fucked up.
But he knows he fucked up, man. And that is the best way to go about anything in life. If you take anything from this episode, kids, is when you fuck up, look yourselves right in the camera and say, guys, my studio system was fucked up. The audio's a little off. And you own it. You own your fuck up fucking man.
And Kaz, I'm talking to you right now. If you go to Atlanta and some dumb shit happens, look us in the face and say, I fucked up.
Where's Kaz for me? Is Kaz right here? There's Kaz right here.
Kaz is right there.
Hey, Kaz, right here? You right here, Kaz?
You guys are
Kaz, I'm going to Atlanta. You want to come, Kaz?
You gotta look up, Kaz. Look up, Kaz.
This is gonna be hilarious if it doesn't look like this in the recording.
Kaz.
Who gonna be there, yo?
Hey, Kaz, you trying to come to Atlanta for New Year's?
I'm saying who gonna be there? Like I'm trying.
I don't know yet.
Stop looking outside. Look out, Kaz.
I'm saying, Kaz.
Rosy just hurt the wrong way.
No,
that's fine. Kaz, let me know, bro.
That's not even a real mask. It's a Grey Goose napkin.
It's a towel.
It's Atlanta. They're not wearing any masks. They don't have any. They can't judge us.
I can put my turtleneck up. Look. So when I get a little oily.
That's an MSG towel.
Yeah. So like when my face gets a little oily, when the lights get on and it's sweaty, I could just.
In your studio. Who's your makeup artist?
So like when they
didn't bring a makeup artist.
When you do the show in the morning,
I'm my own makeup artist, by the way. So my girl taught me.
I was about to ask you, like, have they taught you how to like?
Nah, they haven't taught me nothing. They had me looking crazy the first couple of days.
Shit.
You know, my co-host, shout out to Monica, was like, yo, you have your girl have like powder at the house, whatever. She's like, yeah, I'm sure she does. She's like, listen, you got good skin, you black, all you need is a little powder. You know what I'm saying? Hit the nose, hit the cheeks, hit under the eyes, and you'll be good. So, you know, my girl did it for a couple days, and then, you know, it's early. Like, I have to wake up usually at like 6:30 a.m. to get ready for the show. And I taught myself how to do my makeup. So anytime you see me on the show, that is a Kaz Beats. Shout out to the Fenty. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up, you know, I'm getting all right with this makeup thing. You know what I'm saying? If anything that COVID and 2020 has taught us is that you got to learn a lot of things.
Do it yourself.
Do stuff yourself, damn it.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Fenty Kaz.
Fenty Kaz coming on the way, please. You know.
So next episode, make sure you do it yourself and have the fucking equipment right. Cool. Thanks.
Wow.
Hey, finger guns. Yeah.
Hey. Jesus Christ.
I thought it was pretty funny. I gotta laugh.
We're not letting that shit go, boy. We're not letting that shit go.
I bet you not.
We should do like an award show or some Say Less Awards.
We should do a Say Less Awards. Let's do Say Less Awards last week. Let's record Say Less Awards this week. Put it out next week so we can enjoy our holiday or whatever. And then we'll see you Nick Knox in 2021. How about that? That sounds good. That sounds good to me. All right, y'all. I think that's a wrap for today. Appreciate you guys all listening.
Eddin, what's the clock look like?
Oh, we're like over 2 hours.
Yeah, we're over 2 hours.
So yeah, it's a good episode. Anytime you get in a nice 2, it's a good app. So thank you all for subscribing. Make sure to continue to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, SoundCloud, Google, wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to youtube.com/Kazeem for all things Say Less. You can check me out every morning, Monday through Friday on MSG AM on Madison Square Garden with my co-host Monica McNutt. Check out the latest episode of the first one on Amazon Music. Our 2020 finale just dropped this week with the legendary Nas. You can go back and catch up with episodes with Diddy, Lil Wayne, Kelly Rowland, J Balvin, Fat Joe, T.I., Big Sean. Incredible series. We got a whole lot more to go. So check that out, courtesy of the Gang at Spring Hill Company and Amazon Music. And I think that's it. Low, plug your shit.
I mean, y'all niggas already know what it is. Hip hop R&B throwback on Apple Music hits every day, 8 to 10. Just log on to Apple Music and it's right there. Relive the past episodes on demand. We got about 75 of them joints. So, shouts to Austin Mills, DJ Damo, Steph Floss. All those have been guest DJs on the show. So make sure you tune into that. And got some shit popping in 2021, but we right here, Say Less with Kaz, Low, Rosie, Eddin, and Jake. And Say Less Awards next week, and then we Gucci.
Hey, Kaz, real quick. Can you say who that last episode was with? The legendary who?
The legendary Nasir Jones, Queensbridge.
Yeah, stop. Everybody stop recording. Stop recording because she's about to go into this pocket. Stop recording.
Go.
Matter of fact, no, stop recording. Nah, stop recording. Please don't. She's about to go into this. Come on, don't let her do this.
I'm gonna come up with a Nas song next time.
How do I mute her?
He's trying to do it.
Well, you do have the host public. Yeah, you see.
No, Eddin has it. I don't have Eddin.
He's like, blocker. Me and Love always get into Nas arguments. That's the problem.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. All right.
Always a Nas argument.
I think that's it for today.
Yeah, we're good.
I think we're good. We'll catch you next week for the Say Less Awards. Until then, wait, time out, Rosie. You got shit to plug?
Sneakers. Hell no, I forgot. This puzzle that I'm about to
send Rosie sneakers, yo. Tell Rosie, tell them your sneaker size. You got a lot of fans on YouTube, so if you want to get them on your good side, tell them. Yeah, you do.
I don't read those. You told me not to read those comments.
Rosie,
you told me not to read those comments.
Just tell them your sneaker size so they can send you some feet.
Listen,
and get you
they're
on
not
your
going to
good
be good feet, but if you're going to send me some good feet, I'm a 6.5 in kids.
There you go. All right.
Some good feet. That's a weird way to say sneakers. Send me some good feet.
Patreon gonna like that.
Yeah, go send me some good. Oh God.
Send me some
good feet.
Anyway,
oh my God.
This has been another episode of Say Less. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Lowell, Rosie, Jake, Eddin, always every week coming through.
That's some real cash shit. Thank you yourself.
All day, yeah. Because the nigga.
You wouldn't do that.
Nigga working for
Thank you, Kaz.
Nigga working for myself. Nigga working for MSG. Yeah,
I like to thank myself.
I like to thank me. Without me, none of this would happen. So thank you so much.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so but yeah, man, thanks for tuning in. Like we say each and every week, stay free, stay safe, and always say less. Low?
Kaz, when you go to Atlanta, wear your fucking mask.